Welcome to the Blaize interview. My name is Blaize, and this is
Teri S.
Yeah, so Teri is one of my favorite comics. She jokes about her life. She jokes about her being a rancher. So, how did you come from into comedy? The first part, especially with your background.
Percocet.
I feel like you're a rapper now.
Yeah, no, I broke my back,
Uh-huh.
and I was on Percocet, and I'm like, comedy sounds like a great idea. Knowing nothing, I didn't know open mics. I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
I didn't even go and see a lot of comedians. I see them every once in a while, but not like.
Where was your first set at?
Where was it? Well, the first open mic I did was at Flappers. I took a class. I went online like, I'm going to take a class.
Okay.
And then I did an open mic, and I did the class, and 6 weeks later I did the Comedy Store.
I've heard a lot of people do that. I feel like a lot of classes, they end at the Comedy Store, because I know in Simi Valley there's the girl comedy something.
What?
There's this a few, I forget what it's called right now, but I know Sam Howard, Remy Escobar, they did it, and what it is like a 6-week course, and it ends with them doing a show at the Comedy Store.
Oh.
So I know I've heard.
Simi Valley, that's where I grew up. Oh yeah.
I mean, Simi Valley's cool. I was there last weekend for a little.
Is it cool?
It's a nice little comfortable neighborhood if you want to raise a family.
I moved out when I was 18, so I haven't been there I've driven through there. But it's grown, yeah.
I mean, it's not I grew up in Diamond Bar. You've heard of Diamond Bar?
I grew up, yeah.
Yeah, so all ranch land back there. It's a little better now, but even for me, it's a know-nothing town. There's really no reason to go there, even if you live there.
Right.
You just drive through it.
Right.
Main reason I don't go to my parents' house, not just because I don't like them, I love them, but it's also because there's no reason to go out there.
No.
You're too far from everything. The closest thing to you is the Brea Mall, La Puente Mall, Westco Mall. There's nothing really close to us. It was actually I was really hoping for, because when I was in high school, they were trying to get the football stadium out there. I was really, really, really wishing they would.
You didn't have a football stadium? Jesus Christ, even Simi High had it.
No.
A big football
No, because remember, before they built the SoFi Stadium, they were going to build it out in Diamond Bar.
I don't care about professional football. I'm a college football person.
What's your team?
USC.
Oh, I'm sorry. Life's best.
No, I married into a USC family.
So. I feel that. Oh, to be fair, Hawaii, go Bows. So I can't say shit because we get our shit kicked in every fucking week.
Yeah. Well, we're 6-1 now. We lost on Saturday night. So
I don't pay too much to college football, but I do know that in a few years this is going to be Big Ten country, and we're going to be playing in the Big Ten with USC.
It'll be the Big 12.
Big 12, excuse me, Big 12, not the Big 10.
It's weird that I'm correcting a guy on football. It
is true, but to be fair, I'm more into professional football than I am into college football.
Right.
Just because with college football there's just so much turmoil, there's so much things changing, whereas with NFL football, there's storylines, people coming up, there's new characters, it's just
it's like a movie. Just
I like the romance.
Yes.
Whereas college football is oh, who's this kid? Who's that kid?
Right.
There's so many new kids. I mean, it's so great to see all these young kids come up and do great things, especially athletically. It's amazing to see. But when you get it's a difference for me because it's just fun.
Well, now they're letting the college kids get paid for commercials and shit.
Finally.
Reggie Bush is probably pissed. Jesus Christ.
I mean, honestly, especially during the early 2000s, how many more rings? I think they would have gone 100 games undefeated.
They would have, yeah.
Because you're telling all these kids you get to live in Los Angeles, you get paid to go play football. I mean, the only thing that sucks about USC is where it's located.
They've cleaned it up. I've been going to the games, we're seasoned to
the Coliseum's 4 miles away from the university.
Right.
But the university where it's at, my mom grew up right there, across the street on Soto Street. You know where the USC Medical Center is?
Yes.
So my mom grew up out there. We went out there. She actually tells me stories when she was a kid. She would actually play on the freeway while they're still building it.
Well, at least it wasn't built yet. Yeah, no.
It wasn't built yet.
Yeah, but I mean, it would be different if she was playing on the freeway while it was open.
I mean, to be fair, if you're on the freeway on a Friday going eastbound at 5:30, you can still be playing on it. It's dead traffic.
That's true.
It's dead traffic.
It's like the 101 any time of the day.
405 any time of the day. The only time the 405 is good is between the 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. That's it.
I differ.
He's like, I've been there too.
I have to drive it, so I know sometimes it's stopped.
But yeah, so you did a class.
Yeah.
You did a show at Flappers. How was it?
Well, that was the mic at Flappers.
Mic at Flappers. How was it?
I was horrified because I hate public speaking, and I don't like people looking at me. So it's really weird for me. I don't know why seriously, I don't know why I thought stand-up was a good idea. I don't, and I'm sure people don't think it's a good idea for me, believe me.
It's fun. I love your set. Every time you come up, it's always a lot of energy. It's always fun.
What? Who have you been watching? You booked the wrong girl. Like,
every time I see you, it was just like, fuck, I hate my shit.
Yeah.
And it's good energy. I like it. It's like this energy of kind of like, I won't say it so meanly, but it's just, no, it's just like, you're just a whiskey drinking, cigarette smoking woman.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
and that's what I love about your set. Like, it's just,
Jesus Christ, what else is there?
I mean, that's the best type of woman out there, is a whiskey drinking, cigarette smoking woman. Like, there's, because you're the type of woman who don't take no shit, it will push it back up.
I am very mellow.
I mean, to be fair,
level-headed.
As someone who works with jackasses all day, yeah. Is it really that easy to be mellow?
It's calming.
Calming?
Yes.
Because they can't talk back?
They do. Well, they do talk a little bit.
So, which of the donkeys, when I say jackasses, I mean donkeys, which of the donkeys, because I
have jackasses too. My husband and my mother. But I have 10 donkeys.
Oh shit, that's a lot of donkeys. I mean, like,
that wasn't the plan. I didn't have this many 2 years ago. I didn't have any 2 years ago.
And yeah, now look at you. You got 10 donkeys and growing.
No, 10.
You sound like every mother is like, we're stopping at 10 children.
Because there will be no more unless I adopt more, but there won't be any accidents.
Accidents? What accidents?
The boys, we chopped those off.
Ooh, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But like, what are these like donkeys? Like, how do they like act towards you? Like, what are their personalities?
Okay. First of all, I came from a slaughterhouse.
Oh.
So they were very traumatized. And I originally was going to adopt 2 because you have to have 2. Because they're very bonding animals. And they can die of depression. Yay, I know they're going to die when I die. Ended up with 3 because the one that I wanted bonded with 2. And I'm like, okay, what's the third one? Fuck it.
Okay.
And then that was January 2021 I got them. And then I went back to get 2 more. I'm like, 5 will be perfect. And then I'm like, I found that these 2, the mama and a baby, but she's not a baby. She was a year and a half. This other one was pregnant. I'm like, oh, that would be kind of fun, right? And at the last minute, the rescue's like, can you take the other one? She's also pregnant. So I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm going to have 9. Had the 2 babies, and the other, because there's always a possibility of them being pregnant because where they came from. I didn't breed them. And they're pregnant for 14 months.
That's actually a pretty long time.
Yeah. So you don't know. And so I had one March 27th, April 8th. Then my surprise was June 5th.
Wait, how is it, like, you check them up regularly, I assume. So how do you, like, miss that they're pregnant?
Because they don't do any showing till the last, like, month. Like, they'll get fat. I mean, you'll see them fat, but they drop. I'm a pro now. Yeah, they drop differently. And I've never worked around any equine, which is donkeys and horses. And
equine, okay.
Yeah.
It was equestrian or escort?
Yeah, sure.
I don't really know the words. I've never really been a horse guy.
It's 7:00. I'm not awake yet.
You're like, okay. I need 2 shots of bourbon, a lemon drop, and a cigarette, and we're good.
Add some vodka in my orange juice,
That's the best way. That's the best. But then how did you come into the ranch? Like, because I know that's a whole story in itself.
It's the property that my husband grew up on.
Oh, okay.
And so we were looking for a house. He had a house. And we were looking for some property, and we couldn't find anything that we could afford because vets don't make any money. I'm just letting him not rent. So we put a house on the property where he grew up.
Okay.
And so the main house is there, and we get the main house when my in-laws die. One down, one to go.
Just like,
Oh my God, she's crazy. She's like 84. We just celebrated her birthday.
oh, happy birthday to her. He's like, she's a lovely lady.
No, she hates me.
Why does she hate you?
Because I don't have kids.
Wait, did your husband have kids before?
No, and we had never planned to have them.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, you've always grown up knowing that you never wanted kids.
Right, exactly. There was no desire.
Why is that?
I came from a big family.
I mean, I came from... My mom has 6 brothers and sisters. My dad has 11. I have 3 siblings. So, like, I throw a lot of girls off balance when I tell them, especially when I'm dating now. I was like, I would like 4, but, 6 seems like a good number.
What? Like, so you can have a team? That sounds like a team.
Yeah, so we can play 5-on-5. And shit. Like, I was in football, and I was dating this one girl, and one of our friends asked me in front of her, she's like, oh, how many kids do you want? I said, oh, I want 10, so that way I can play the quarterback. She looked at me. She's like, "The fuck?
No, you look more like a center."
Yeah, you gotta pitch it back, boy. You gotta pitch it back. No, but so I'm baby crazy a little bit, and I know that I want.
God.
I know, and it's hard for men to admit that they're baby crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like for women, like my cousin, he's dated women who are baby crazy. I dated one woman who was baby crazy when we were 18. We were freshmen, we were seniors in high school, freshmen in college. And she's like, I want a kid. The worst reason, too. She told me she wanted a kid because her family didn't love her enough.
That's the worst reason to have a child.
And that's why I broke up with her.
Good.
Because I knew I was 18 years old. Like, I knew I wanted children in the future. Not
at 18.
Not at 18 because, like, I know, like, right now, even now, like, I'm starting, I just turned 30. I'm like,
okay, you're at that age.
I'm at that age. That's why I'm a little baby crazy. Where it's like,
I can give you some of my nieces and nephews. There's so many. We have to wear name tags when we go
nieces
to, like...
and nephews, like Terry, they can't reproduce.
No, but I have lots of nieces and nephews that you can have one of them. Or nephews. Well, they can. Depending on who you ask. What's your definition of a woman?
I mean, this is 2022. What is a woman?
Yes.
Like, yes, queen. I'm just saying, like Terry, I'm looking for a person whom I can reproduce a spawn with.
Satan's a good one. You can spawn with Satan. Anyway.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, no, I have... Okay. For your age, there would be my great nieces and nephews. I have tons of family. That's why I don't want around... I hate kids.
You know what's... It's interesting because like, I have a nephew. He's, like, 22, and I'm thinking about it, and it's like, wow. I'm 30, and he's 22, and, like, I have my sister, my older sister. She's the oldest out of all the grandkids. And she's like 40. We'll just say that. I'm 30. She's 12 years older than me. And then like the youngest one of us, he's 20. Of all the grandkids.
You have grandparents though. That's great.
Yes, they're still around. Well, my mom's grandparents are still around.
Well, see, I never knew mine because mine were born in the mid 1800s. My dad's going to be 95 in January.
That's impressive.
Is it?
I mean, okay, well, I assume it like this. Like, my age, I assume I'm going to live to a minimum of 100 years old just because of modern technology. Because of modern technology, the way our diet is a lot better, our food is healthier, this and that. Like, I feel like people in my generation... People like your mother-in-law, she's living to her 80s. I'm assuming you're going to live into about 90s. And
I would think so.
And that's why I say, like, I'm assuming I'm going to live about 190 years old. And then my kids, give or take, are going to live about 100 to 110. Or my grandkids are going to live about that age. Because just modern medicine. Like, most people died of malaria, the flu. You know, a lot of kids died, like, when they were in infancy.
Yeah.
Like, that's the reason why the average age was like 42.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
For years and centuries.
Years to like the 50s.
50s, yeah. Then it started creeping
and antibiotics help.
Yeah, antibiotics. I mean, like, people diabetes. People don't die. People would die diabetes before. Heart attack. Even though if you have a heart attack, a stroke, we have so much more medicine, so much more therapy to help you recover from that. I mean, medicine's always getting better. I mean, like, you as a vet tech, or what is your...
I'm a vet tech.
Okay, I did vet tech. So, like, you...
It's a nurse. Yeah.
A vet nurse.
Yeah, that's exactly... I'm an animal nurse, yeah.
I mean it's a little...
Everything will get longer. Like, survival rates.
Yes.
Depending on how much you want to do. Like, there's always going to be things that are just signs of age, like cancer and stuff. But my theory, not just a theory, the mRNA vaccine that they did for COVID, they're going to use that somehow to manipulate cells in the future to cure some cancers.
You know what?
mRNA
Now that you mentioned
not
that,
a new vaccine.
No, because this thing's been around for I think 5-6 years. The mRNA, it's been around for a while. No, actually, it's been a lot longer.
No, well, they've been working on it for 20 years.
Yeah,
but they do it in animals and stuff too.
Yes,
so
because we test everything on animals before we test it on
which
humans.
I think is necessary
For our survival.
For their survival too. I will give you a great example. My case usually has a picture of my old dog on it.
Oh.
He was born with 2 heart defects.
Oh.
That's why I got him, because I only get rescues, and I got him when he was 12 weeks old.
Oh.
And they did surgery at UC Davis.
Okay.
And fixed it. And the surgery that they did on his heart, they now do in children who are born with the same issue.
Oh, wow.
So, and that was 1997 he lived a full life.
Nice.
He was 14 years 2 months, and I still miss him.
Oh.
But he lived a full life.
I mean, I recently had to put down 2 dogs in the last 2 years, so I know how hard it is. I mean, like, I still think about them all the time.
Mm-hmm. So,
like, it is hard to, like, but the thing that like changed from like humans. I mean, like, we started with implants, heart surgeries, like was like pig hearts. I mean, what they did, the valves.
Mm-hmm.
They start with the pigs first, and then they do it on humans.
Well, they use pig valves in humans because my brother-in-law has one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because not everybody can get the metal one. So, my vegan, no. But I know vegans are all flipped out, and PETA's all flipped out about all that shit. But there's so many animal products that you need to treat. Like for rattlesnake. Mm-hmm. If you're bit by a rattlesnake, and you're a vegan, what are you going to say? Fuck the treatment. Or, fuck, I can't get this metal valve. Fuck the pig valve. Like, at least insulin has gotten better. It used to be made with bovine.
Yes.
And PETA years ago, the president had to resign. You know, the red paint era?
Yes.
She had to resign when they found out she was using insulin because it was made out of bovine. Like, the hypocrisy of it. Like, no animal, anything. Well, fuck.
Like, how are you supposed to, like, survive? How are you supposed to progress? I mean, like, I understand, like, I get what PETA means. Like, don't be a dick to animals. Don't be an ass to animals.
Please. They put more animals down than vets and shelters combined.
Yeah, they do. I've read the reports, and they try very hard to stuff that.
There's a lot of stuff that people don't know.
Like, especially with stuff like that, like, there's so much hypocrisy.
Yeah.
So much hypocrisy, like, political. There's, like, I mean, even BLM, like, they're recently, like, they're in the shit now because one of their persons, they bought, like, $8 million worth of homes, like, and
that was for one home.
One home was $8 million?
Yes.
One home is $8
Yes.
I thought it was like over like 4 or 5 homes.
No, they bought a whole bunch of stuff. And it's like they're not using what everybody donated for. And they're like, well, people can come film here and stuff like that. They can come hang out. Really?
No.
In your gated community? Like, I wish I had a gated community. Yeah.
To be fair, technically your house is gated because of...
It is. It has a fence. It has a fence.
You have a fenced community?
I have a fence around my house in the middle of the desert. That's what I have.
I mean, you gotta though. You gotta, like, imagine if they're just running wild. I mean, I'm pretty sure the coyotes are crazy out there.
Coyotes are crazy, and donkeys are actually their job. Not my donkeys, but their job. Why people get them is to be herd protection.
Ah, like dogs. Yeah. I can see that. I think I've heard that before.
More than dogs, because a donkey will shred a coyote.
I've heard that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've heard, like, coyotes are one of the few animals that, like, donkeys will go out of their way to like attack. Yeah. And, like, they'll put them on a shirt and, like, they'll really, like, just mess with them.
They'll shred them.
Yeah, I've heard that, which is interesting. That
it's prey.
Yeah.
They I mean, the donkeys think them as prey, and they're protecting themselves.
Well, think of themselves as prey.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I know, like, zebras are also, like, very, very hyper aggressive.
They're just aggressive.
Yeah.
They're like one of the worst animals. And my friend keeps them like, you should get a zebra. And I'm like, what the fuck? I want pets. They're my pet. Like, I want nice animals. Like
I heard, like, zebras, like, it doesn't matter what comes up. If anything comes up behind them, boom, boom, boom. Because, like, they're bred and they were brought up in Africa. They got lions and...
Right. Lions and tigers and bears, oh my.
Well, no.
No, isn't that...
Asia?
No,
I don't think...
No, Africa has all those. I don't know if they have bears.
I don't think they have bears.
You might.
South African tigers? Where are tigers located in Africa?
They have tigers and jaguars and lions and you go on safari there.
I know they have cheetahs. I know they have lions. I don't remember tigers. Yeah. I remember tigers being more of an Asian thing. I think
they're in Asia too. And so
I know
are
they're
elephants.
Elephants
And giraffes.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember.
Everything came from Africa, by the way. Evolutionary.
Well, to be fair, we're all one continent.
Yeah, most people don't know that.
Pangea.
Most people don't know that.
Really?
Most people think the
Earth's flat?
The Earth's flat, or it's the center of the universe also, so...
Well, to be fair, they're wrong because I'm the center of the universe.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, I'm the center of the universe.
Oh.
Praise be me.
You and my mother-in-law.
Praise
Jesus Christ.
No, but I really don't... Like, I don't even know. Like, I understand, like, back in the 1800s and the 1700s when they didn't really know.
I was born.
Back when you were born, yes.
And this is over millions of years that
the
our
Earth
shaped it like it is.
I mean, like technically, we're still waiting for California to split in half.
I know. I'll be beachfront by then. We're waiting. I live on a fault, so
you live on a fault. You better hope you don't fault in.
Oh my God, my husband and I were kind of looking for property, and like, oh, maybe up north. And he's like, seriously said to this a couple weeks ago when we were on our vacation. He's like, well, they have so many faults up there with earthquakes. And I'm like, what do you think we live across the street from? I live across the street from Vasquez Rocks.
Oh.
Which is a fault line.
Yes, like literally.
Literally, you can see it. And so I'm like, that's just retarded. Yeah, so.
The thing is, like, I'm just, like, curious, like, because actually, I was listening to, I think his name is Sam Harris. He was, he's like a YouTuber who used to work on Vox, but he does this thing about maps, and I love his thing because I just love how he breaks down maps. And like, there used to be this thing like, a lot of maps used to have California sawed off because they used to think because of the Gulf of California because they thought you could go up there, and it was actually the reason why it happened was because this I think it was a Spanish priest. He like wrote a whole bunch of lines saying, oh, we need to find gold in California. We need to find gold in California. And that's why so many Spaniards went to California.
Yeah, I think so.
It's because they wanted to find gold and they were exploring. Which is funny enough because eventually they did find gold. It was just all the way up in San Fran.
Right. Well, but you know, like with the gold thing, they didn't find as much as they thought.
No.
More people made money from being a trader.
Yeah.
For selling them the equipment.
Like Levi's.
Yeah.
Levi's started there. I recently went to during New Year's. I went to the first gold rush town. It used to be called Hangtown.
Okay.
The reason why they call it Hangtown is because it was like notorious for all the hangings because people would be hung for stealing.
What state was this in? California?
Northern California.
Northern California.
They're different. They're different up there.
They are different.
Especially once you get to the area of Jefferson. We don't. You've heard of Jefferson, right?
Heard of Jefferson. That's way up there, isn't it?
That's way up.
Yeah.
That's like basically South Oregon, Northern California.
Okay.
Like those folks are weird.
Yeah, they're a little inbred.
You said, not me.
I didn't say that.
It's like when you go out to Fontana. Yeah, because you just
Do we need to go out to Fontana? I don't know. Fontana. It's called Fontana.
I prefer the name Tucky. Fontucky. Just nothing but meth and just planes.
Jesus Christ.
But it is. Like,
Thanks. Oh, that's. Well, I'm from LA. I didn't get out much, and I was really repressed. like I grew up in a really religious family. Like Mormons, but on to the next level. Like my dad was from a polygamous Mormon family. He wasn't a polygamist.
Okay, I was actually about to say, like, okay.
But my grandmother, which I never knew, was a second wife.
Okay.
And then when polygamy became illegal, my grandfather, which I didn't know him either, moved his first wife down to Mexico and kept a second wife in Arizona.
Impressive. This
And
man is thinking.
And shit, they used to run people across the border.
Oh, shit.
And run during alcohol during Prohibition.
Damn, you come from a gangster life.
Yeah, no shit. There's, I guess, government buildings in Arizona that are named after my family.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Where? Like in Phoenix?
Tucson?
I have cousins who live in Tucson.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know a lot of this stuff, but I like...
You're like uncovering it, and it's like, oh shit, my granddaddy was a goddamn gangster.
And my mom was Amish.
I mean, you've seen the Amish Mafia.
They left when she was in the middle of the night when she was young. I don't know a lot of the history, but now I'm like, Ancestry.com has fucked them up. Because I found a brother I'm not supposed to know about.
What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it before or after you were born?
Before. It was my dad's... I like to say first marriage, but also first wife. No. Yeah, so...
Half brother, full brother?
Half.
Okay,
Half.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
shit.
we're in contact now.
Okay. How is that going?
It's good. Yeah, we've known each other about 3 years, a little plus 3 years.
You reached out?
I did. I looked for him. I went on Ancestry.com, got and saw the birth certificate, and you can order it if you're a sibling.
Whoa.
And when I got it in the mail, it had a different name on it because the original's online, but it had what his mom got remarried and his stepdad adopted him, so changed the last name.
Okay.
And that's how I did my little... Took me a long time to go down that rabbit hole.
See, the thing is, like, I kind of want to do that because I'm pretty sure my dad, but you know what? I'm just saying, he's... You know.
Look, I'm surprised there's only one.
Same. To be fair, your grandfather... he had a second wife. But
I can't believe they raised us Mormon. Like, do this. Be very quiet.
No coffee, no soda.
Oh, I know, and that's all I do is like drink and like fuck.
Like a sailor.
But I like even at a young age, like at 5. Seriously, like at 5, I'm like this is bullshit. And I got in so much trouble, like seriously trouble. And so I played along, and I was very quiet and very shy, still shy. And when I was 18, I left. I said, fuck you. Because they were going to marry... They wanted to marry me off and have me have kids.
Whoa. Did the dude have a lot of money at least, or no?
They didn't care who it was to as long as I was out.
Really?
Yeah.
So you almost had an arranged marriage.
I would say yes if I stayed. I mean, like if I stayed around. No, I got the fuck out. I went to college, which they do not encourage, especially back then. They did not encourage...
For women getting educated?
Oh, yeah, they hated it. So, I played basketball. Started when I was 10. That got me to college.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Where'd you go to college?
Channel Islands. It wasn't called Channel Islands back then, but it's Channel Islands.
Oh.
University.
That's nice. That's cool, though.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like, that's how I actually got into my careers, because I was working out, and then I tore my knee and I had 4 knee surgeries, and then I had my first lymphatic drainage, which is pretty much where they just flush the body.
Yeah.
So you've had this lymphatic drainage, haven't you? Very, very light, and they literally just very, very just touch, and they
better than Reiki, where they're just like. I got a massage license when I was 20.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you?
I went to massage school, got the license. You had to go and get fingerprinted because we were talking about that. Yeah.
Still do.
I'm like, that was weird because it was before spas were really and massages were really in hair shops, and it was still thought of as like a hooker thing, right?
Yeah. Still kind of.
But like at least they have legitimate places now.
Yes.
Before this was the 80s. Like, they didn't have a lot of those places, but I saw it coming.
Yeah.
Because my sister's a hairdresser, and I'm like, oh, I see where this industry is going. I'm not a hooker. I never gave a hand job for money, although I should have.
I mean, I have. I mean, let's be fair. Rent was due.
Rent was... Oh.
You'll do a lot of things when rent is due.
Yeah, like get married. First
Twice.
Married. 3 times.
3? You've had 3? I've only known them 2.
3.
Wow.
This one worked.
So far?
Yeah, 24 years. I think it's going to work.
Nice. I mean, like...
I'm going to be a widow. Yes.
You're just like...
one day.
To be fair, is who do you want to go first? The husband or the mother-in-law?
The mother-in-law. No, I figure at this point she's going to live forever.
Like, she's going to die after you.
And I'm like, if my husband goes, do I have to keep her? Like, is that...
Shit. You do. You do.
No, oh my God. Okay.
You can't evict her. It's her house, technically.
Well, we paid it off. We paid it the last 25 years. We paid for the whole house.
All right.
So, yeah. But she's been a widow not even 2 years yet. Okay. November 19th.
I like how you just memorized the...
But she broke her hip a few months ago.
You're like,
And, well, because she's an alcoholic. It was 1 PM. I know she was like, oh.
Fair.
She had surgery, and they were supposed to send her to a rehabilitation place to get...
PT?
Yeah. She checked herself out because she didn't want to stay there. I'm like, it's for a broken fucking hip. Are you kidding me? And then decided to start online dating. This is a week after her hip. So, and
that's impressive. That's some goals.
I mean, I guess, but like, I called her. I would go and check on her because that's to make sure she was okay. And I called her, and there was no answer. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go down there just to make sure she didn't hurt herself or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna sit next to her the whole time. No fucking way. I already did that. And there was a car in the driveway, and I'm like, oh great, the physical therapist is here because they were supposed to send one.
Yeah.
And I walked in, saw a bottle of wine.
Ooh.
1 in the afternoon, of course. And I'm like, this is nothing new. She's an alcoholic.
Amen.
And I looked over, and she's banging some rando that she met online earlier that day. No blankets, no sheets, no nothing. I'm still traumatized.
You know what? Give this woman a fucking medal.
I mean, no, I would love to give her something, and condoms would probably be the best thing.
You know she's not using them.
That's not even the thing. I saw penetration. I didn't see the guy's face. I saw penetration, though.
I'm just more...
No.
You know what? I'll give her credit if it's a younger guy.
No, and I don't know. I didn't see his face.
You didn't ask questions?
No. She couldn't hear me. She didn't have her hearing aids in. So she had no idea, and I like, and then I went and called my husband and his sister. I'm like, what the fuck? That guy spent the night.
Nice, good for
I'm like, I guess he got a refill on his Viagra, because, I mean, how else? He left the next morning. She made him go, but he wanted to move in.
Of course he did.
2 hours later, a different dude shows up.
Oh my God.
I know this. I know this. I know the date. It was August 17th because it was my birthday. Guy hasn't left. Since.
Wow.
She goes to football games. Like when SC has a whole football game. He stays at the house. He has not gone home. And now she's having him dressed in my father-in-law's clothes.
Oh no. Mm-hmm. Oh no.
Nobody in the family thinks this is weird.
What do you mean that's not weird?
It is weird.
It is weird.
Like, am I the only one? And she's been scared. Oh, God.
I mean, I'm just more surprised that, like, I will say this, like, my grandma in Mexico, before she passed, she had 2 boyfriends in 2 different cities paying her rent.
Oh, that's smart.
I mean, she's 80. I mean, like, my grandma, she could sling. Like, I know for a fact I come from good sex game because of my grandma and my daddy.
Well, she was not like this before. She has a little dementia. And this is one of the side effects of dementia.
Is you're a sex addict?
Yeah, you become, like, uninhibited. Yes.
No wonder STDs are so
high. That's
high.
what I told her. Her and her boyfriend, they went to visit his 91-year-old brother. This was just, like, this last weekend. They went for the day. It's the only time he's left.
I'm surprised they could bring it back.
And he's like, oh, yeah, he has a girlfriend. You know, he's been widowed for, like, 7 or 8 months. And I said, did you meet her in the facility? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, you know, there's a lot of banging going on in those facilities. That's why STDs are so important. And that's why you should have condoms. And like, well, nobody could get pregnant. I'm like, that's not
the point.
That's not what condoms are always for. Like,
it's mainly for STI.
I mean, it was just, yeah. So that's my life.
I mean, to be fair,
you should get more dick than anybody, which is great. Which I'm glad she's happy.
She's like, this bitch getting more dick than me.
Yeah, but it's great. I just don't want her to get scammed.
Dude's already living there. I mean, honestly,
I know. How are we gonna get rid of him?
You're not going to, because it's California. He's going. You know what he's going to do? Squatter rights.
I know, and I've been waiting for the house forever.
He's going to be in that house. Like, trust me. After she's gone, he's probably 40 years old.
I think he's 80 or 81. He's age appropriate. But if he's saying he has a brother that's 91, I am not having this. Somebody's going to be buried in the backyard, and it's going to be one of the 3. Like,
I mean, that's impressive. I mean, like, honestly, I've been lucky. I don't think any of my ex's mothers hated me yet. I think they hated me after I broke up with them. But when I met them, they were all nice to me.
She didn't hate me till about 4. Okay, she didn't express how much she hated me till about 4 plus years ago.
Mm.
Yeah, when she had
And
to
she
go.
realized we're like
They got in a car accident and blamed it on me. And her and her husband were, my father-in-law were in the hospital. We went to visit. She's like, I wish my husband would have married somebody different. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, what?
What was that guy do about the car accident?
Because they were drunk. Yeah, they were drinking. They went out to lunch and they were drinking and they pulled out and totaled the car and it was a whole thing. And I have a problem with that.
I mean, yeah, she's an alcoholic. She shouldn't be drinking.
And then and then she says stuff to me and I always have to take her to her doctor's appointments and I'm the target of her shit. Now it's just like, fuck. Yeah, it's just like the worst to be in the car with.
I mean,
yeah.
She tells you everything that's wrong with you and more.
Right.
I mean, I have this saying that I always have to say because a lot of people ask me in massage therapy, like, how can you tell what a knot is, right? And I tell them the same thing. It's like, I look at every single person the same way my mother looks at me. You know what I mean? Because, like, I don't
want to touch you,
well,
but I think I have to. That's just like how your mother taught, yeah.
No, it's just like every time I visit my mother, she always says the same three things. She's like, your hair is ugly, your shirt's a mess, you need new shoes. I love you too, mother. I love you too. And that's the same thing with massage therapy. It's like, I look for what's wrong, not what's right. And that's what all mothers do. Especially mother-in-laws.
Yes. I've only been nice.
I mean, it's a lose-lose situation.
It is.
Like
and that's why I got the donkeys. Because I was like, fuck it. I'm going to get the donkeys. And she still won't come down and see them. She refuses. Because she actually said this. They're the symbol of the Democrat Party.
Oh. What?
Yeah.
She's that much of a Republican?
She is that much. And that was when I got the first three.
She's definitely a Trumper.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yes.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh,
she put a sign out and it was like, oh. And then she tried to put one out. We have a boat in the marina for diving. And we're like, fuck no. Fuck no. Like, we're not. Yeah. No.
No, there's only so far you can go.
There's only so far you can
go. I mean, the lawn's one thing, but the boat? Bitch.
Our boat.
Our boat.
We don't want anybody to see that,
Then you gotta explain it, like, yeah. I've had a racist incident about that. It was probably this woman, 89 years old. She was elderly. It was last Thanksgiving, actually. Me and my family went down to Newport, and we were just out there.
Right.
We were just,
nice.
We went through a thrift shop, and we're just, like, hanging out.
Right.
Just, like, hanging out, walking through Newport right before brunch, just chilling. And this lady, she's pink Trump hat 2024, bright pink, like bedazzled and everything. I'm like, all right. And she's saying like, oh, where y'all from? I'm like, all right. I'm like, oh, we're from Diamond Bar. You're just here visiting. She's like, what? Y'all from over the border? I'm like, my mom, she didn't know how to react. My mom, she went, ha! She literally just went, ha! And just shut up. And like, we walked in, we were like halfway through the store. And like, when she said that, I was like, let's just get the fuck out.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like, it was weird. It was just like my sister was there, my nephew was there. Like, it was just like us, and it's just like we're all Mexicans, so it's like,
right.
And the fact that she said that, like, so like, where y'all from over the border? And I was like,
well, whoa. Technically, if she wasn't Indian, she probably is from over the border too, like a border, some kind of border.
Yeah.
But her genes probably weren't originated here.
To be fair, hers were over the ocean.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah. So when people like always bitch about that drives me crazy because none of us, most of us, although I do have Indian men.
So I bitch, I'm from here.
Yeah, we're not from here.
I mean, to be fair, most people aren't from anywhere. Most people, like, their families migrated all over the world.
Right.
Like, for me, I said this a few episodes ago on my podcast, like, growing up, I never understood racism.
Right.
Like, I don't understand what it means to hate someone based on their skin. I can understand hating someone because of their actions. Mm-hmm. I can understand hating someone because, they did you dirty. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There's multiple reasons. If someone comes up and they smell bad, I can understand that. Like, I've had too many clients smell bad. I'm like, don't come back.
Right.
Don't come back. Like, certain things like that, I can understand, but, like, you just see someone walking down the street, they're dressed like jeans and a white tee.
Like everybody.
Everybody, like...
They're no different.
No different. Like, I've never understood racism.
I have... You know what? I know people always say that, and I've never understood it, although my family... Growing up Mormon, they're fucked up. But I've never looked at anybody like, oh my God, like, let me grab my not...
Yeah.
When I was 16, and this is a fucking true story, I was called into the bishop's office. for the Mormons because they heard
Uh-oh.
that I had a crush on a black guy.
Uh-oh. Not that you were dating one, but that you had kissed one. Oh, okay.
I wasn't allowed to date at that point. Yeah.
You know, we weren't dating.
We weren't dating, but yeah.
We were talking.
We were talking. And so I was told that I could not do that. And I
Oh.
said, why not? And basically he said, you have to date your own kind. I said, what does that even mean? He said, be like dating a Jewish person. I'm like, what? They're all the same. They're all people.
I don't know. I don't understand it.
I was pissed. Got dropped off at home. My parents went out to dinner. I made up every freaking racial slur for white people and put them on posters outside the front of my house.
Ooh.
As a protest.
As a protest. I was like, protest.
You can't tell me who the fuck I can and cannot like and be because their race, their religion.
Yeah.
Which I have no religion. I'm an atheist because Mormons will do that to you. Yeah, so I was pissed.
I had a friend of mine who was a Mormon. He was actually, was it a bishop or a priest? What is it?
It's bishops.
Bishop.
Yeah.
I always forget. He was a bishop he
got
really up there. He was
brain lost.
Yeah, so he was married. Wife was in it. 2 girls in it. Mm-hmm. He was telling, so I met him in college when I was in Hawaii. He's also Canadian. He's now in Texas. His name is Steve Cantwell.
Okay.
Great guy. I love him. He's funny as hell.
Still Mormon?
No.
Yeah, of course not. Because he's like, if you look at the history of being Mormon, people don't know this. It's bullshit, and you can trace it back. It's like to the 1830s about how Joseph Smith, who was like 14.
Wasn't Joseph Smith young or Joseph Smith?
Joseph Smith was young. He was 14.
Oh, it was Brigham Young was the second one.
Oh, that was the second one. That was just like one of his followers.
Yeah.
And took over after Joseph Smith
got
killed when he was in jail.
Cut for fucking some other dude's girl.
Well, no, oh my God, let me go back to the story.
Yes!
Okay, so, 14 or 15, depending on how you look at their time, because he was 14, but in his 15th year. So they judged shit differently.
I get what you're saying,
yeah. He went out into the woods, because he had like 10 siblings, and there was only a 2-bedroom house, so he went out into the woods, and that's where he saw Jesus and God.
And he got the tablets,
That comes later.
Oh,
that comes later, yes. So I figure it was his first schizophrenic break, or he went to masturbate. I mean, there's only 2 choices. A house of 10 people, the woods is the only place you can go.
You're not wrong, but why do you gotta be so right?
So he went out to the woods, and that's when he experienced Jesus and God. Now, he couldn't look necessarily at God's face, because you can't look at God because he's perfect and he'll like melt you or something, like in Indiana Jones.
Yes.
I guess if you look at God, that's what happens. Whatever. Nobody's melting around me except my face. So, and then Joseph Smith asked him, he's like, what is the right religion? And God said, none of them. No follow-up questions. What a dumbass. I would have followed it up with another question.
Hey, what do you mean no religion's the right one?
So he went and started his own. And started writing this book. And at the same time he was writing, and a little before, he got, was it typhoid? Or something where he got an infection in his leg, so he couldn't even walk for 3 years. So he was just staring at the wall. There was no TV then. No Netflix, nothing. Not a lot of books. Mm-hmm. And so he was having all these visions, and they told him about the little plates that he couldn't go and get right away, by the way. The plates that were buried in New York, because some reason after Jesus was crucified, which I don't even know if Jesus wrote. And then in North America, like just magically.
I mean, that's religion.
And then he buried some magic plates in New York in his backyard. How fucking convenient. So he went and found these plates that he was the only one that was allowed to see them, and he's the only one that could read them with these special glasses that he looked into a hat with. And so he transcribed them and made his, it's like the new Bible, basically.
Yeah.
And took it to his friend to read, and his friend's wife was like, this sounds a little weird.
Kooky.
Oops, I lost it. So she made him do it again. Different this time, apparently. So in the second version of it, God was actually, he was quoting God. I love when people get quotes from God. That's the best. So at this time, they got kicked out. They were very poor. They practiced witchcraft before this. His family. He was a grave robber.
Mm.
and treasure hunter. Grave robbing, treasure hunter.
I mean, same thing.
So, yeah.
Kind
and
of.
he was convicted as being a con man.
Joseph Smith.
His first wife he ran off with and got married, and when he came back, his new father-in-law's like, oh shit, and so he confessed everything to his father-in-law, like, I'm a fraud. He was convicted for being a con man and in jail. And so they kept on going from different state to different state because he kept on getting these followers, because the difference between him and other people who were having these revelations and stuff like that. So he had a book that he wrote. Yeah. It was like 600. It was really hard to write a book.
Yeah.
Everybody else had pamphlets.
Mm.
And that's how he got his followers. But then they were kicked out from state to state.
Because he was sleeping with a whole bunch of women.
No, that was one of his revelations. That wasn't in the original. No.
Because when growing up, I remember hearing like
polygamous.
It was because he was polygamous and he was sleeping with a whole bunch of married women.
He was crafty.
He was like my grandfather.
So crafty. Yeah, so one of his revelations, like, okay, we got to move here. One of them was Missouri. That was the Garden of Eden. I don't know if Missouri is the Garden of Eden. I've never been there, but it doesn't have a beach.
If it ain't got a beach, it ain't.
So yeah, and one of his revelations was, oh, I have to have multiple wives.
Yes.
It's not a woman's burden. It's the man's burden. I don't want to fuck these teenagers, but what else are you gonna do? Like, because he had a teenager move into his house. She was very young, to help watch the kids that he had. And then he had his revelation, and then he started having other men high up in the church marry. So look, if I'm doing it and you're doing it, we're gonna keep this secret. So it was kind of a secret.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not part of the Mormon religion.
I think of it like this, like. Most, especially like the Middle East and like even in Asia, like back in like back 16, 15, 1400s, most girls are married off.
They still are back there. Like they're still married off there, and they still have harems. And I think I'd do great in a harem. By the way, Middle Eastern men love me.
I can see why.
They don't like me to talk, but they love me.
They love the way you look. Did you know that you start opening your mouth, you're like, she got too much opinion. Shut up. Because that's just how it is.
They're like, oh, bitch, I've seen you drive. I don't want any of that. Yeah.
She's like, you're cursing too much when you drive. Mm-hmm. No. Yeah. But like for me, like, it really didn't. I think personally, because I think most it isn't until like the early 19th century here, especially in America, that like we started creating pedophilia. I don't agree with pedophilia. I'm not endorsing it.
I don't think it was created in the...
No. Not that it was created, but like it started to become seen as a taboo, because most folks, like I think back in like 18, 17, you hear a lot of women being married. Oh, she's 16, she was married off to a 28, 30-year-old.
That's because you lived to be 30 then. Or 35 or 40. You didn't live a long time. Yeah. And you were there to procreate.
Yes. And so a lot of these young girls are sent off or married off, I guess, because the family needed resources.
And that's what it was. It was property.
Property.
That's what marriage is, property. That's how it got started. It's not like whatever. It was because, hey, I'll give you this if you give me this.
It's a transaction.
That's how marriage started.
Yeah, because of basically women were the first form of currency.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, women are everything. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I spend whatever. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's like women. Like for me, like most of my role models, most of the people I look up to are women, which is surprising. And like
he looks up to me.
That's only when I'm on my knees. But that's different. But like I said, it's like a lot of my role models, like Tina Fey is one of my favorite writers. I love Tina Fey. When I was going to Hawaii, one of my favorite teachers, she was a woman. When I was in massage school, one of my favorite teachers was a woman. Like even in high school, one of the teachers I could rely on the most, she was a woman. Mm-hmm. They were a woman, I should say, or whatever.
Whatever they are now.
No. Well, I mean, like that's like a lot of the folks. My first role model is my mother.
Right.
The first people like I grew up like wanting to be was my sisters, because they're 10 and 12 years older than me. So they went to college. They both have their masters. Right. And so my goal is actually to get my doctorates. So that way I can go to every Thanksgiving and say, call me Dr. Blaize.
Yes.
Dr. Blaize. I mean, does your husband do that?
Well, you know what? You can go to a chiropractic school for 3 months and then call yourself a doctor. It's not not really a doctor, but people do that. Oh, he's a doctor. No.
I've been asked to being a massage therapist, I worked with different places. I interviewed at a chiropractor's office. I got the job, and he asked me, because of like how my approach to massage and like how I do things is very, very nuanced, and it's very like I'm not a spa therapist. I'm a therapeutic therapist. Right. And there's a difference. Like spa therapist is like
did you like this?
Yeah, that was nice.
Do you want more pressure?
Yeah. But like a physical, like a therapeutic therapist, how you feel? It hurts. Good. Okay, that's fine. Let's see how we're gonna break this up, and it hurts. It's okay if it hurts. Like a lot of people when they get a massage, they're like, I don't want it to hurt. And it's like, well, when you go to the gym, going to the gym, does that hurt? They're like, yeah. It's like, are you sore?
That's why I don't go to the gym.
Oh, to be fair, your work is a workout.
Yes, it
your
is.
Your child care is a workout.
My child care is a workout.
I mean, you gotta show that shit up.
And that's heavy. And bales of hay are like 100 pounds.
One of my cousins growing up, she used to have a horse, and like she was like, I used to watch her like take care of the horse, and I could never do it. Mainly because you got to clean the hoofs.
Yep.
I'm too scared.
Yep.
I'm too scared.
You gotta clean everything besides the hoof. No,
I'm just talking about like just the hoof. I'm trying to keep it PG right now. Like I know you gotta clean everything.
No, I'm not. No, I haven't had to do that yet, and I refuse to do that part.
Hoofs?
No, I'll do the hoofs. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Everything else. I saw my cousin do it, and I was not about it.
No, I've done it to dog because like surgical or whatever. But dog size and donkey size, way different. Impressive. Like it's impressive, but wow, scary.
You make
scary.
You make it sound like it's dick size. Like
my sister came over and her reaction was the same reaction I had the first time I saw it. Was like, holy shit, and that was from across the yard. No joke.
Yeah.
No joke.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Yes.
I'm not gonna.
I've been to TJ plenty of times. That's all I gotta say.
I haven't been in a while, but it wasn't for that.
Yeah. I was supposed to go TJ 2 weekends ago, but the reason, we went to San Diego because my cousin, I went to with my cousin because he had some friends who were visiting San Diego, so we went to go there. And then I made a friend out there in San Diego, and I was trying to get him to go to TJ for, what reasons? For good,
you go drinking. Fun. You go drinking. You walk across. Do you drive or walk across the border?
Walk across.
Yeah, that's what we
You walk across because you know why? Because you don't want you to get your car stolen.
Right.
You park it. Pay like $25 to park it for like 2 days.
Okay, it was so much cheaper back in my day. We'd walk over, party, and then walk back. Yeah, I would walk back with illegal shit too.
The thing is, it was funny when I was telling the dude, he didn't have his passport. That's the reason we didn't go. I had my passport. He didn't have his. Because I just met the dude.
Right.
And I told him, I was like, let's go teach you. Because I don't have a passport. And I said, dude, it's $20
Yeah.
He's like, what do you mean it's $20? So we ended up not going to TJ, but we ended up going to another club, a gentleman's club. 2, by the way. And every time we went in, we talked. We went to Bank of America first to pull out cash because we both have Bank of America. And we saw 2 security guards right by. I was like, "Hey, man!" And I told him, "I was like, hey, how much does it cost to go to TJ?" And like, man, it costs $20. Both of them. We had. And then I got both were Uber rides. Both of them. Both said, cost $20 to and from to go. You know what's even worse? It costs $20 to get into Mexico. It don't cost shit to get into America.
It costs to get into Mexico? Oh yeah, the VAT tax.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been down there.
It's illegal.
A lot of countries are like that.
So I had to go in there and it only cost $20. So I give the dude, because I went to Hawaii. I give the dude my Hawaii state ID. It was after I graduated college. Give the dude my Hawaii state ID. They all talking Spanish. Dude takes me into the back room. I look around. First thing I notice, no cameras. Oh, my butthole got like this. My legs were together like yes. I was shaking. I was worried. I'm like, what the fuck's gonna happen? So he tells me in Spanish. He says, this is what's gonna happen. If you give me $20, nothing's gonna happen. You go to Mexico and enjoy yourself. But if you don't, you gotta go back home. So I repeated in Spanish, right? And I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, that's what happened. So I reach in my wallet, give him $20. He said, get the fuck out. And as I'm walking, he smacks me in the ass, and I just keep walking. And I'm like, no. And my cousins and my brother were there, right? And they're like, what happened? I'm like, just keep walking. Just keep walking. Keep going. So we get to the taxi. Then we get into the hotel that we're staying, a motel, basically. It's, you know how it is. TJ, it's nothing's good. Yeah. So finally, my butthole unpucks. I'm like, oh, fuck. Hilarious. So it's a great time. So we ended up going to Hong Kong. If you've been in TJ, you know Hong Kong. It's a great place. 3 stores. Great place.
There's so many places that, oh my God, we used to go, like that main drag. And,
yes.
I mean,
yes.
It was so long ago.
It's basically unchanged. It's like there's no reason for it to change. Like there's a little bit here and there, like things that are like remodeled here and there, but it's basically the same. Yeah. And like, so I had to come back to America, right? We were walking across the border.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So I give the dude my Hawaii state ID, right? And he looks at it and he laughs. He said, "Of course your name's Blaize." Right? It's like, it's Hawaii state ID, like McLovin. Like, all right, whatever. So he reads it, he looks at it, he taps it. He leans back, he looks to the left, looks to the right, hands me ID and says, "All right, man, enjoy your day." And he just lets me through. And I'm just like, fuck it.
I went one time and I had to go. Like, there was at one point that you couldn't get certain medications.
Yes.
So I would have to go down there every once in a while and pick some medical stuff up.
Medical?
Yeah. Well, no, for me. It's for animals. No, seriously, for animals. And then, like, I brought cigars home, and I would have, like, this big bag and just, like, what do you have? And I'm like, drugs. And they're like, okay.
Yeah. They don't give a fuck. Like, I remember, like, 15 years ago, 16 years, like when I was a kid, 10, 11 years old, we were going through TJ. It's all they do. Go through. Mm-hmm. They don't check you, nothing.
Yep.
They said, go through. And like, the reason why I remember this is because I had to really take a shit one time, and I was worried that we were going to get stopped. And there's a gas station right there. I forget what the gas station is called. It's right there. It's a blue one.
Yeah. Is it Chevron?
It's not Chevron. It's like...
Mobil. I don't know. It's been a while. It's been 30 years.
I can't remember. I just remember it was blue. I think it was off-brand. I don't think it was a brand. I think it was off-brand.
Okay, then.
I can't remember. I can't remember right now. But I just remember there's that one blue gas station right there. As soon as we get through the border, get off the freeway, go right there. And I was like, I need a key. That's the main reason I remember. That's what it was. We actually smuggled, my first dog. Second dog, actually. My second dog. Through Mexico. So we had this big Lincoln Navigator, right? Big old Lincoln Navigator. So we had all this stuff in like clothes and suitcases in the back, right?
It's like, don't move.
So me and my brother are all in the back. And we had this little... he looked like a miniature Doberman Pinscher, but he was a Chihuahua. Mm-hmm. You know, he had like black skin, but his underbelly was brown snout. Really cute dog. Really good dog. And we ended up naming him Shadow. But... we were going through the border. And as we were going through the border, me and my brother had him in a box, right? And me and my brother sitting all the way in the back of the navigator, and we're holding his mouth like, "Don't say shit, don't say shit." And the dude comes in and he's looking and says, "How you guys doing?" Like, we're doing good. It's alright. He's like, "Hey, bye. Have Georgia to do America." He's like, nothing. Like people, I find it so funny how like people's like, "Oh, the American border is so like difficult to cross." Like, yeah, if you're not Mexican. If you don't have paper, like it's so like going across the border, to me has never been a problem. It's so simple. Like half the time they don't even check you. Like I feel like I get checked more when I go to Mexico than going to America.
Right.
Like honestly, like they're more worried about you, which is funny. Like 3 years ago, 2019.
Pre-COVID.
Yeah, pre-COVID, 2019. So me and the girl I was dating at the time, we went to, it was Mother's Day weekend, we went to go visit my grandma in Mexico in Sonora. We were having a great time, and we were visiting my cousin, and we were smoking in the car, and we got caught up smoking there because we were in a resort, and the dude walks up with a cigarette, and he goes, "Woo, this shit smells good." And he's like talking on his radio, he's like, "Hey, look, man, normally I have to call my boss in. He's a hot ass. But you know, he ain't answering the phone right now. My cousin, he's in the driver's seat, right? And I'm in the passenger seat. And we're smoking blunts, just rounds and rounds of blunts, right? Just enjoying ourselves. And my cousin's like, all right. How much is it gonna cost?
Yeah,
dude. $40.
Yep.
My cousin looks at me. He's like, "You got a 20?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Here you go." He's like, "All right, here you go." I was like, "All right, take off. Next time, don't smoke in somewhere so public." And I was like, "No, fuck, motherfucker." Like,
we used to do that all the time. Oh my God, I can't tell you how many times that we paid like $20 to get out of Tijuana, like to come back. Like, oh, you can go to jail. Sure, okay, here you go.
Yeah.
Just have a nice day.
Yeah. Like honestly, like I got pulled over in TJ. I've gotten like cops like put me in handcuffs. Mm-hmm. Like so long as you have enough money, they will even drive you to the ATM.
Yeah,
they will drive you to the ATM. It's like, hey man, I only got 20. It's like 60. I was like, all right, we're going to the ATM. Yeah. Like what's your? They'll ask you, what's your bank? It's like Bank of America. It's like, all right, but they'll take you to Bank of America. They'll pull out the cash and you hand it to them and like, all right, and they stop you in your ass and you're good.
There you go.
Like I ain't gonna lie, like. I'm low key in favor of corruption because honestly, $20 is all it takes to get out of a ticket.
Corruption is good to a certain point, but then it like just grows and then ends up like our government.
I have a cousin in Mexico. He works for the Mexican SWAT team in a certain area, and so I went down to visit him for his birthday, his wedding, right?
Okay.
So we went down for his wedding, and like we went to the liquor store to buy. Gang of beers.
Yeah.
Beers. Because when you're Mexican, you don't drink liquor, you drink beer. We drink more beer. That's just how my family
Okay, wait a minute. Like, when I've been in Mexico, like, especially the last time, where was I? I was in some little city, it was about 3 years ago. I did a tequila and mezcal tasting and ate a grasshopper. See, I should have been drinking beer.
Yeah.
Is what the point of the story is. I should have been drinking beer. You should have been
drinking beer, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But like I was saying, my story is like, so we pull up to the liquor store, right, to buy beer store, whatever. So we buy like...
beer store.
Yeah, whatever.
Cerveza.
It's like, the minimum pack is like 30 a rack. You know what I mean?
Right.
40 a rack. So or 50 a rack. We buy like a gang of those, right?
Nice.
And then as we're going in, he sees two of his coworkers who were like on patrol and say, hey, how you doing? Hey, blah, blah, blah. He talks shit to them. And he goes in, he gets an extra pack of 30 rack, right? He hands it to them, and they put it in the middle of their fucking, like, cruiser. And they're just drinking on the job. And I'm like, God bless Mexico. Yeah. God bless Mexico. Like, I love, like, my family, like, I've been in Mexico half my life.
Right.
I spent summers there. I spent Christmases there. Like, it's different than here in America. Like, here
way different.
Like, you understand the difference between, like, wealth and poor.
Right.
There. Versus, like, here, like, wealth and poor, like, yeah, you have the super wealthy, and then you have the poor. But out there, you have the super wealthy, and you have the super poor.
Right.
Like, it's just, like, here in America, it's like this. There in Mexico...
Our super rich and our super poor both have the same size TV.
Yeah. Yeah. Whereas out there, our super rich and our super poor. Our super rich bought the TV. Their super poor stole the TV.
Or doesn't have electricity.
It doesn't have electricity. Like I have cousins. Up until I was 20 years old, 30 years old, like even now, they don't have.
You're 30. You're like even until now. 30.
Even until now, like they have no roof for their head. Like all they have is a blue tarp.
Yeah.
They just have tarps. Like they just have brick. Mm-hmm. They have no windows, and they have a tarp over their roof. And that's just how a lot of the houses are. There's no roads. There's
no
dirt.
Plumbing. Yep.
No plumbing. Like you literally, it's just porta potties.
Well, I think a lot of people don't understand how the rest of the world is because they haven't traveled. I travel.
I would say people haven't traveled to poor rural places because like you can travel undeveloped places because like I've been to places like you can go to Mexico. Plenty of developed places. You can go to Mexico City.
And there's little places.
You can go to Cancun. But if you go to like
real places,
like a lot of the northern borders,
right?
Border cities in Mexico don't have plumbing.
Right.
They don't have plumbing. They don't have roads. Like if you go, you have.
Just like my house now. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like if you go down, like the fucking speed bumps are like this high, like 20 feet high, and my dad is actually, we were full of it. It was my dad, my mom, me, my brother. We got pulled up on one of those places because we have a nice truck.
Right.
We had a big F-150.
Right.
It was Harley Davidson F-150. They pulled up on us like, hey, ¿qué pasó? I was like, hey. And my dad starts talking to us because he's from Sonora.
Right, okay.
He's from Mexico. My mom's from Sinaloa. And so my dad just started talking, like, hey, blah, 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 blah. And they start talking back and forth. They have a conversation, this and that. I remember, like, funny enough, I was actually watching this clip. It was like 2, 3, 4 years ago. These two gay couple, they were traveling. I think it was South America or it was Mexico. It was like in some tropical Latin country. Okay, in Mexico, if you go to South Mexico, it's very very tropic.
Right.
And they were like, they got pulled over by the cartel, and like they have like the little camera on them, and they're freaking out like, oh no, it's okay. And like the cartel members are sitting there like, híjole, mira, está bien, it's okay. They're telling, we're just going to take all your shit and take your car, but you're okay. And, like, they're just going to leave you here on the side of the road. And they're like, please don't kill us. Please. And then it's just funny to me. It's like, not funny, but it's sad because, like, I know for a fact, I've been in certain situations. I won't get into too much details. Like, I've been in a situation where I shouldn't have been. I was in the wrong place at the right time.
Got it.
Yeah. And I was like, I know what it's like to have a gun in your face. It's not a good feeling. It's like, oh, I'm literally about to lose my life right here.
Was that a Baca show?
It was a young Baca show in Inglewood. Baca!
I'm kidding.
No, I thought Baca on here. I mean, like, I talk a lot of comments I have here. We talk good shit about Baca. I always like to say,
he's always been nice.
He's a great guy. I always like to say, Baca's show is it's like going to Russian roulette. It's comedy roulette. You're like, not my turn.
Roulette. Mm-hmm.
Not my turn. And finally it's your turn. Like, what the fuck? I'm like taking a shit on the toilet. And it was like,
wait, I have to finish his smoke. What the fuck?
like what the fuck? Shit.
That's hilarious.
I love Baca.
He's everywhere now.
He's everywhere. He just needs to. Sometimes I just feel like Baca. How should I put it?
Chill.
That's a good one. He just needs to breathe.
Chill.
Breathe. Like he's doing so much. Like especially like his contest. He books like 40 fucking comics. Something like, bro, just book 10. Stop all this bullshit. Like, you can even pick your 10 favorite comics. We don't give a fuck. Don't fucking make it 40 fucking people, or we gotta wait till 2 a.m. to figure out who the fuck got the prize.
Too long.
Like, I'm like, bro, I got shit to do in the morning. Like, fucking make it.
I got a job.
I got shit to do in the morning. Like, I got children.
I'm up at 5.
I got taxes. Like, shit. Like,
damn donkeys I have to take care of.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's fun though. It's like, but it's so many different types of comedy venues though here in LA versus like other states and other places.
That's true. The further you get away from LA, the better. Barstow loves me. I don't know why the fuck. I'm going there Monday. Barstow loves me.
Yes, I can see why. Because you know what, you are Barstow vibes.
Yeah, no. Here's the thing. Because somebody showed up. There's nothing in Barstow. You don't need except meth.
Yeah.
And I don't do that, so might as well.
Or from Kentucky, yeah.
Jesus. yeah, no. It's the further you get away, and it's so funny the different types of crowds and what people think are sensitive and cancel culture. And I think
once you get out of LA, everyone hates cancel culture. You go to Brea, you go to Ontario.
Chicago didn't have a problem.
Orange County. Orange County hates cancel culture. You go to fucking like Lancaster, Simi Valley. You can talk about like all like if you talk about cancel culture and you shit on cancel culture, they love that more. They're like they don't give a fuck. They're like, oh yeah, oh this cancel culture shit, fuck that shit. And they're like, yeah, fuck that shit. I think
people are getting tired of it because you know what, laughing is good for you.
Yes.
And we're not allowed to do that regardless. Like people try and censor you and like if you don't have the same opinion as me. You're fucking wrong.
I hate that. I want you to have a different... I want you to not agree with me.
Yes.
Because if you don't...
I won't agree with you.
Yes.
Fuck you.
Because when you don't agree with me, that opens up so much more conversation. Because I want to understand, okay, you don't agree with me.
Why?
Right?
Because I'm right.
You're wrong, but...
no, that's usually that's because that's how it is. Yeah. I love debunking shit.
Yes, I want you to tell me. I want to be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love to be wrong. I want you to come with me with like X, Y, Z, and W. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like, you have to, I want you to say you're wrong because of 4 different reasons. You know what I
And
mean?
they don't even have to be true.
No, they don't have to be true. It can be the wrong shit. Like, oh, the Earth is flat, and you can believe the Earth is flat.
It's flat because you can only see so far.
Yeah, it's like, okay, cool. Have you ever been on the plane? No. It's like, what about the pictures that they take from space?
That moon landing's fake.
I was
It's
like,
fake. Oh my god, my sister. She's fucking crazy. A few years ago, we were talking about the moon landing, and she said it's fake. I'm like, okay, this bitch is crazy. That's when I'm like, okay, she's really gonna, because
she's full Mormon.
yeah, well, yes, and grew up in Simi Valley, and she's like, because she read every book in the Simi Valley Library. Now, at the time, Simi Valley only had this one little library that's now a mortuary. Well, it's right next to a mortuary. So small, there was no computer, the Dewey Decimal System or whatever it is. You know that the cards.
Yeah.
Not a big library.
The
Not
green,
a lot
the
of
green,
information.
the green screen.
Yeah, no, there was no screens at that time. I'm talking early 70s.
Okay, that was before the computer.
Okay, yeah, way before they even thought of computers. I'm joking, but like, yeah, and I'm like, she's getting where's she getting her fucking? Because she's that crazy. She's that insane. I hope I don't get that gene.
I mean, you haven't? I mean, to be fair, you're a comic.
Oh. But I know it's real. Jesus Christ. So one time, it was after my first marriage, like a month after my first marriage, 2 of my older sisters and I, we went to Vegas. And we got first of all, I am the smallest boobs in my family.
Oh, that's sad.
I got them reduced into, like, almost 20 years ago. I want to get them reduced. I want to get them lifted. Actually, I just want them back up.
Okay, that's fair.
So if anybody knows anybody who wants to give me a GoFundMe page.
Just start OnlyFans.
So we had, granted, I was young. So we had these shirts that my sister made that said "Tits Are Us," like Toys R Us. And we walked around with those. And we stayed in, what was it? Westward Ho. Do you remember? It's not there. I don't even think it's there anymore. Okay, it was okay, on the Strip, shithole. But I'm playing blackjack, and I'm looking like, oh, fuck, these guys are amazingly hot.
Ooh.
Like, it was Chippendales before. It was way before they had their residency.
Yeah.
So they would go around and do shows.
Yeah.
And I stayed at that blackjack table for 12 hours just for the view.
Oh.
That's the story. But my sister tells the story where, we all were drinking, and I went dancing with them on an abandoned rooftop on the Strip, like bank rooftop.
Bank rooftop.
First of all, there was no such place, and if that happened, I would be bragging.
Right?
Like I would, fuck yeah, I would brag about that yeah.
That's impressive.
I wish it happened.
You wish you was in that gangbang. I mean, to be fair, I always like to say, a closed mouth don't get fed. I mean, you could have spoken up, you could have said something, but you're like, in my first marriage, I want to say faithful.
I've been married for a month. I had another month before it ended.
Honestly, the first time we were like, wow, geez, I wish that was me instead of you.
God, there's been times like, oh, do you forget who you dated? Like,
not yet. I don't think I've gotten there yet.
Yeah, it's like, oh, did that really happen? And I since social media and Facebook, because I'm old.
MySpace.
No, I didn't have a MySpace, which is weird because I didn't know how to use computers. That's why.
That's fair.
They didn't have any computer classes when I was in high school or college, by the way. Okay. That's how old I am. Mm-hmm. But I've had all these ex-boyfriends contact me. Like, this is weird. Yeah, and now they're all into God and everything. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, it's really weird. They're really religious. I'm like, I made them see it, and now they're following it.
Like, I don't really think I'll ever be religious because I don't really care for religion. Like, for me, like the Bible stands for basic information before you leave Earth. Bible.
I haven't heard that before, but that's great. But it's a lot of fairy tales in there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like treat others how you want to be treated. It's like
treat others how the whole book is full of rape.
Yeah.
And murder. Okay, maybe we should follow it. Yeah. Oh wait, some people do.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a politician, you definitely do.
No, look, there's stories that have been left out of the Bible because I've been doing a little research on this.
Yes, there
stuff.
is, because the church changed the Bible.
So, well, yes, there's different manuscripts,
mm-hmm.
and some of the manuscripts they didn't leave or they didn't put in because they were even like, you know what, we We got away with the virgin birth, but I really don't think they're going to fall for this.
I mean, Joseph Smith got away with the fucking tablets, so...
You can trace that history. It's there. You can trace it.
I mean, what's worse, Mormonism or Scientology?
I mean, they're both science fiction. But you know what? Okay, I'm going to give it for Scientology because at least they had a leader you could see. L. Ron Hubbard. He was their god.
I mean, Joseph Smith. What about Joseph Smith?
He lived to like 30. I don't know how old he was when he got killed in jail for being a con man. They broke in jail and killed him.
Yeah.
Fucker.
Yeah. I mean...
Serves him right.
I mean, to be fair, he was probably living his best life.
Yeah, honestly, fucking teenagers. I mean,
fucking
what?
a whole bunch of girls. Just fucking married women. Like, honestly...
He put the burden on himself. Like, I'm
my father's son because I know... Because, honestly, I prefer married women because... They got shit to do. Like, girls who ain't married, ain't got a man, they got so much free time. Whereas women who got a boyfriend, women who got married, it's like, look, I'm going to see you on Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Be ready or else you ain't getting no pussy. I'm like, I'll be there. Like, you mean that, like, you got to set the schedule.
They have it, like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, well, my husband, I'm like, 24 years. It's a long time.
But what? I don't understand that. Like, I've had a girlfriend break up with me because she got upset because every time she came home, she felt like I was accosting her because I was just basically just kissing her growing, is what she said to me. Because, like, I'm Latin, so I'm, like, very, very...
I like it. Like, I'm Latin. That's just how it works.
Well,
that's how it works for a lot of people. They don't have to be Latin to, like, make out with somebody. The problem is when you come home and start doing that, you think it leads to something else, and we've had a long day at work, and we don't want to have to do another job.
Well, the thing is, my job is all touchy-feely.
Right.
So, like, especially with I had one girl, I was dating her, and she told her mom I was a massage therapist. She's like, that's smart. I was like, what do you mean that's smart? Right?
Like, just make sure he washes his hands before he comes home.
Exactly. I'll wash my hands, like, 40 times a day. Like, I can't, I'm like, ugh. Like, as soon as I touch the trash, wash my hands. Throw trash out, wash my hands. Like, I cannot not wash my hands because, like, it's just like, but, like, for me, it's like, I'm more of like a physical touch kind of guy. Like that's my love language kind of thing. Like I'm very, very touchy-feely person.
Love language. What the fuck? I mean, sorry.
Go ahead.
I don't know what they are, but it's a lot of bullshit.
Really?
Everything is bullshit, and tarot cards are bullshit. I'm always arguing with Jessica.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to debunk everything. And so I'm like, okay, I'll listen to tarot. Apparently the next couple months is supposed to be really great for me. So we'll see.
I mean...
It's just a lot of affirmations.
Yeah. I mean, it's like fortune cookies nowadays. Like, fortune cookies don't tell your fortune. They just give you a lot of affirmations.
They're
like, good friends are within grasp.
Well, my tarot did say that I will be either meeting a new friend or getting a new pet in the next couple months between October and December. I'm like, well, that's every fucking month with me. Like,
especially as a comic.
Well, and with my business too.
Yeah.
Like, I could go home. There could be another animal there. That's always a possibility.
Yeah, there could be an animal there right now.
Yeah.
That you don't even know about.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is Jessica.
Yeah. And so I like debunking things and just. Well, so I always ask her, well, how is this? Because I've been listening, like, how they're trying to come up with their theories. And they don't make sense. Because Babylonian times, they had, like, 13 different constellations to come up with a zodiac sign. And they got rid of one. To make it even. And make it a pie chart. So there's a lot of, like, yeah.
I mean, like we talked about earlier, like the Bible, the Vatican, they took out a lot of pages out of the original Bible. They've edited the Bible. I mean, there's also like the King James version of the Bible. There's the original Latin version of the Bible.
There's one that has, I guess if it has red printing in it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. If there's any bold print in red in certain Bibles, that's actually God's word, like his words that they're quoting him. I didn't think anybody met him. I mean, not really. I mean, it's weird
the burning bush.
Like, it's weird. Yeah, but I mean, it's weird that they now have quotes. That's what I'm saying. Like, some versions have quotes. I think it's a little weird. I think it's a little far-fetched. Look, at this point, if you were to throw a Twilight, the series, one of those stories, into the Bible, people would be like, yeah, okay.
Like, the most famous one is the plane one, where the dude's fucking up with the wing.
Are you talking about Twilight Zone?
Yeah.
I'm talking Twilight, the vampire movie.
Oh, you're talking about Twilight the movie. I was talking about Twilight Zone.
Twilight the movie. If you throw a vampire in there, people will believe it.
That's fair. That's fair. I was thinking Twilight Zone. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I know which one you're talking about. There's something that on the wing. Yes, I think that every time I fly. Every fucking time I fly.
Oh.
I don't fly anymore. No, I'm kidding.
I take the bus. I take the Greyhound.
I haven't gone anywhere. I mean, I've flown to Vegas a couple times since COVID.
Burbank. That's a good flight.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the Burbank airport.
It's so easy. It's so
fuck the LAX. Fuck
LAX is reserved for international flights, and I haven't done any traveling.
I feel that. Like, there's no reason to go to LAX when you have Burbank right here.
Right.
Like, I grew up, like I said, Diamond Bar. Like, I never flew out of LAX. I always flew out of Ontario.
Oh, that's easy too.
Mm-hmm.
That's a small one too.
Smaller. But it's still a good size.
It's bigger than Burbank.
Burbank.
Yeah.
It's a medium-sized airport.
Yeah, but it's still smaller.
Yeah, I mean, like, John Wayne's...
John Wayne isn't for, like...
It's more for personal flights.
Yeah.
It's more for, like, if you have your
Cessna.
own plane. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a little airport near, like, over the hill from us that does Cessnas and helicopters
Oh,
and stuff.
yeah. There's a lot, like, Chino airports like that.
Right.
So there's a lot of smaller airports like that.
Well, it's like, when we were looking... I contacted a real estate agent just up north just to kind of see. I said, I need to be near an airport. Like, half hour, that's fine. And so she sent me a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm like, oh, this one property looks great. I'd like to go look at it. And like, my sister and I were going to go look at it. The nearest airport's 2.5 hours away. She goes, no, we have an airport that's close for private jets and stuff. I'm like, who the fuck do you think I am? Like...
I'm not Jeff Bezos.
Right? Like, I just want a beach view. Yeah, this was when it was 115 outside for like 2 weeks. I'm like,
in the middle of August.
I was like, fuck this shit, because I'm outside, and so, yeah, no, I was at that point. I'm like, I need the ocean.
Yeah, people like. I went to New York last month in September, and when I went there, when I landed, it was midnight 30, and it was still 90% humidity.
See, I can't handle the humidity either.
The thing is, like, out here in LA, we don't have that much humidity.
We don't.
It's just all dry heat.
Yeah.
It's dry heat.
Which both are bad. Dry heat and humidity, both bad.
For different reasons, though.
Yeah, but I mean, like, when it gets...
Like, humidity, it just makes me sweat.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, dry heat takes it makes my energy go. Like, when I go to I have cousins, like I said, I have family in Arizona. So when we go to Arizona, you park in, like, the Walmart parking lot. Right. By the time you get to the entrance, you're like... like, you feel, like, all your energy leave you.
That's how hot it gets at my house.
Yeah. You live in Simi Valley now?
No, I grew up in Simi. I live in the hills of Santa Clarita.
Ah. Yeah.
In the desert.
Yeah.
And we get snow.
Not too much, but like a little bit.
A little bit. To make it pretty.
It's nice.
It's cold.
I mean, like, people don't realize, like how much snow LA gets. Like, even especially, like, in the mountain area, like, Mountain High. I love going to Mountain High.
Oh, I used to go there all the time.
I love Mountain High. It's, like, literally 90 minutes. You go on the freeway, you make a left, you make a second left, and you're there.
Yeah.
It's literally 2 turns and you're there.
It's like, yeah. Oh my God. I used to go there all the time. I had a boyfriend up there.
Ooh.
On a ski lift. He was an idiot.
Of course.
But I was 18, so fuck it. Like,
of course. I actually went there, this December. I met this girl. She was working at this thrift shop, and I was trying to contact her. She's like, "No, I got a 6-year-old girl, and like she's my life, and like I'm super religious." I'm like, I'm not really religious at all. And so it's
opposites attract.
It is what it is.
Unless it's my case and like my first marriage.
I mean, technically that's opposites attract.
No, we were attracted to the same type of men. So they do not. So true. Oh my God.
True.
I forget that I was married. Jesus Christ.
I mean, you're still married.
The first couple times.
First couple times?
Short.
I mean, you talk about your first marriage all the time. I never think I've heard you talk about your second marriage.
Yeah, it was just short and not sweet.
Mm.
But I've been to the altar so many times. I have been, like, in Vegas at the altar. A lot.
The thing is, like, I have my dream wedding planned out. Like, if I had my dream wedding, it would be in the mountains. It would be at sunset. It would be. Have you ever seen Wreck-It Ralph?
No, I don't have children. No.
Okay, so Wreck-It Ralph, there's a marriage scene. It's kind of like this triangle, and they have like this glass wall. Basically.
Right.
It's all glass, but what I rather put instead of this glass, put like like Virgin Mary or like Jesus, some sort of Catholic kind of pane glass right there. And then as we say "I do," we kiss. Boom. Doves, butterflies. Fuck it.
Wow, that is a dream.
That's just part of the dream. The second part of the dream is like, first off,
you have to find the girl.
Find the girl. Second off, it's either Morgan Freeman or
Oh, so now you have a narrator in this shit?
That's the pastor. It's either Morgan Freeman or Samuel L. Jackson, because I either need God or a few motherfuckers said in my wedding, and then I want her to either come down with either polar bear fur or white wolf fur over her shoulders.
Okay. I got married by Elvis the first time, so what am I talking
You're like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, once again, this is the dream. I told him.
So you're going to have her slaughter an endangered species?
Yes.
To wear?
Yes. I'm not vegetarian, and you know what? Look nice.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, we can just hang it on the wall.
A souvenir.
Exactly. And I was thinking about, like, I was talking to one girl, she's like, but what about the sun? It's going to be in everyone's eyes. And like, I got you already beat. It's going to have our initials on the sunglasses. And everyone's going to be wearing sunglasses.
Oh, my God.
What?
You have thought out this wedding way too much.
I've been thinking about this wedding since probably like 15 years old.
What are you, a girl?
I have pictures. I have a journal. I have a few cutouts. So
your vision board. Your vision board of your wedding.
I'm just saying, if any woman out there wants to have a wedding and already planned out.
If you want to wear a wolf.
Or a polar bear, your choice. But it has to be white. Maybe gray.
Yeah, it's a little racist.
It matches her dress.
Because she's going to be virginal.
No.
I'm sure.
Of course not. The fuck?
You got to try out the product before you.
Of course. I'm not going to just like willy-nilly go into a marriage. I need to know.
You know once you get married, you're never going to have another blowjob again.
They say that.
They say that. It's true.
Well, I don't know because. All right, so I've been thinking about this.
I'm just saying, women lie.
Women lie. Well, it's true, but I understand that. But for me, like, I'm very I've read the book recently. She Comes First, which is about the female orgasm by Connolly's by eating pussy out.
Right.
And so it's just like.
Doesn't it take like 21 minutes or something like that?
4 hours. Thank you very much. Audiobook.
Who has the fucking time to? No, but I'm saying, doesn't for like a woman it's like 21 minutes or something?
Yes, it's 21 minutes. I take the time.
Dude, I don't have that kind of time. Vibrator does it in 2 seconds. And I know it's gonna be done.
See, personally, I enjoy sex. I love the art of sex. I love pussy. I love eating it out. I like to take my time. The woman body to me is just so invigorating. It's just so
Yeah, wait till you're 60 and you have 60-year-old balls. No woman wants that in their mouth. That's what I'm saying.
You know what? Women can get a lift for the breast. I'm gonna get a lift up for my nuts.
They do that.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
I would love anybody out there I would love to see somebody who's gotten that done.
A nut lift?
Yes.
I mean, there's Kegels for women. There's just Kegels for men.
Okay.
I
not the same. Not the same. I want them to crunch it up and chop it off and tack it up there. I would like to. I know they have it. Don't know anybody who's had it or.
You haven't seen it in person.
I haven't seen it in person.
You know what? You should talk to your husband about this. Be like, my husband, if he wants. Oh
God. I would have to talk to him. Kidding. That's what you do when you've been married for a long time. It's like separate vacations sound great.
Separate bedrooms.
Oh, it's separate bathrooms. That's why we've been married 24 years.
Separate bathrooms?
Oh, yeah. That's the only. If you want to keep your marriage, 2 bathrooms.
2 bathrooms.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
My sister has 3, so.
Okay, I mean, at least 2. You have your own. That's what I'm saying. You have your own.
So, well, the thing is, my sister and my brother-in-law, they used to have a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house before they had kids. Or apartment, excuse me. And my brother-in-law always stressed that one bathroom was for shitting, the other bathroom was not.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, he can do whatever he wants in there, and I can do whatever I want in mine. So I have a balance.
I get that. I mean, like...
It works.
It works. Separate beds work. I mean, like, everyone... I caught was it Lucy?
I Love Lucy.
I Love Lucy is when they had 2 beds.
You couldn't have any film
Couple.
or yeah. You couldn't show them in the same bed. Yeah.
The first couple on TV in the same bed.
Brady Bunch, wasn't it?
Flintstones.
Was it the Okay.
Flintstones.
Okay.
It was the Flintstones. I know that for a fact. It's
awesome.
it's huge. It's huge. It's one of those things like, oh my god, they got away with it because it's animation. I was
Right.
like, oh.
But for like in life, like real people, it was Brady Bunch, wasn't it? I'm guessing. I'm just making up facts now. It might be because that was from the 60s. And they would always read in bed. They never did anything else, but they would always read.
Well, it's not like they're going to show full fucking nudity on fucking TV.
Well, they do now. I mean...
It's HBO Max.
I don't know what you're watching. I'm watching regular... I only watch cartoons. That
What do you watch, Terry?
I watch cartoons.
Like what? What is a cartoon?
I love Rick and Morty.
Okay.
I haven't watched South Park in a while. I like that. I liked it when it was on.
So basically, you're a 20-something-year-old.
Oh, fuck yeah. And then I watch the Discovery ID channel. I'm so
They're
addicted.
so fucking...
I know where those people go wrong. Like, I think I can get... I shouldn't... You're my alibi. But, wow, they fuck up.
How do they fuck up?
Well, it's like... They go through, like, the story, because they're all true stories. And all the shows are a little different, but even, like, Datelin's a little different. And they just tell the story, and this is how they got caught, and blah, 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 and how they disposed of the body, and how they left DNA. I'm like, This is, like, you planned this shit out, and you still left DNA? What a dumb motherfucker.
It was like, if I'm going to kill my mother-in-law and husband, I know what the fuck I got to do.
Buried in the backyard.
Mm-hmm. Blame the donkeys.
Nope. You get a pig.
Get a pig. Oh, shit. This bitch been thinking. She about to go full Carl Baskins on us. Buried
in the backyard. That's my favorite. Buried in the, like, nobody ever finds them.
Until
afterwards. And then Law and Order SVU.
Oh.
I got addicted. My friend and I used to watch that in Vegas when we go to Vegas. And since COVID, I've watched a whole bunch of them. I've watched all of them now. And I rewatch them. That's all I do is rewatch. Like, okay. And she's so Me Too, which is perfect. But, like, she like the captain, the lady who plays the lead. Mm. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah,
right?
I forget her name.
Benson is her name in the show. But every person she looks at, she gives them, like, that rape look, like you're a rapist. And she always tries to convince these young girls not to get abortions for some reason because she was raised from rape or what. I don't know.
What?
Yeah, she was conceived out of rape. And then her mom dies. And then here's the thing. She's so, like, women this, women empowerment. She's fucking slept with everybody in the goddamn department.
That's true.
Like, from the low, like, detectives and to the highest people in the department. She slept her way to the top. And because...
Kamala Harris.
No, here's the thing. Whoever writes a storyline, great, love it. But she gets kidnapped, like, once a season. Her guns get taken away from, like a criminal once a season. They're always losing their guns to criminals. I'm like, this is how New York runs? No wonder they're fucked up.
LA's only worse.
It's like, oh my god, there's so many flaws with that.
I get you.
I'm just saying, I learn a lot from Dateline. I'm just saying, I can dispose of a body.
I know how to dispose of a body correctly, and you know what?
So don't fuck with me.
This is a warning.
Like we found a strand of hair. Well, great, because this isn't even my hair.
It's like, this is all fake. I wore a wig the whole time.
Oh yeah, no, this isn't real.
I know, you can tell by the eyebrows.
I know, I need to get them done. God damn it.
Because the thing is, like, with women, like, women be surprised when men say, oh, I know that's not your natural hair. And I was like, how do you know? I was like, bitch, because you didn't do your eyebrows. And it's like,
they're a different color every day. And I'm really hot. I'm sunburned today. So, yeah, I am. Because I was cutting down a tree.
You're just a regular...
Fucking rancher. I fixed well, I didn't fix it. I kind of... dug up a pipe the other day because it was going all over and was
Okay.
trying to fix it before I called the plumber because I didn't want to break my
Yeah,
nail.
you didn't want to
So,
pay all that.
yeah.
Like I said, Terry, you're a double shot of whiskey and a cigarette smoke away from being just the ideal woman. That's just how you
And
are.
if I only have sex, that would be great.
When people ask, this is why. This is why we can't have nice things. And like I said,
This is why we
I don't
can't.
understand. Like, I've been too scared to ask my mother. It's like, Mom, this is the last time you and Dad had sex.
No! Why would you want to know that?
Because they have an unhappy relationship. And I feel like...
Okay, well, that's not going to fix it by you asking, by the way.
Because honestly, I think both of them need some... Get a good fuck.
Let them get dementia.
You know what? I've been trying.
Yeah, like my
I've been
in-laws, I never caught them having sex before, so it was weird catching her with a rando. Not even like it's kind of like a Craigslist thing.
Once you're at that age, bro... Once you're at 80, like...
There's not a lot of range.
It's not like she's picking the fucking cream of the crop out
No, I think
there
there was only like 2 choices, and they've both been to my house.
Yeah, that's probably... And she stuck with the one that dicked her down best. Like, I had a friend of mine, she went down to Spain a few months ago, and she has a half-sister who's from Spain. She's living there. And she said, oh, yeah, my half-sister, she has this guy that she has me hooked up, like, she wants me to meet out there. And it's like, no. She doesn't have a guy for you to meet out there. She got some dick for you to meet. Some dick. Because she knows what you need. You've been single for too long, and what you need is some good dick.
And according to my friends, Spain is a great place to get dick.
From what I've heard.
Yeah, I've heard that
Spain
too.
is a good place. France, not so much.
Yeah, the French are... I haven't been to France, but I've been to Tahiti a lot, and they deal a lot with the French. The Tahitians hate the French, which is funny.
Because they have their own French religion.
Well, it's the French
colonized.
It's a territory.
Yes.
It's a territory. So, but the actual Tahitians don't really like the French who live there, but they like American. I have friends who live in Tahiti, so, and then I have we travel to the Cook Islands all the time, usually to do animal shit there, but haven't been since COVID.
Which is funny, because James Cook was named afterwards. So one of my teachers, she's like the great granddaughter of James Cook. From when he discovered Hawaii.
And discovered all the Cook Islands and not all the islands in Tahiti, but a lot of the South Pacific islands.
Oh, those islands, yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So she was, but it was great because she taught Hawaiian studies.
Oh, nice.
Because she the rest of her family is like Hawaiian. She's originally from Hawaii, and so the whole class is just shitting on James Cook. Whole class is talking about how much of a shithead he is, how stupid he is, how much like the Hawaiians hate the white people. Like the whole class is just shitting on white folks, shit on colonizers, shit on the folks who came in took over. I'm just like,
that's like every country.
I'm like, woman, you're like 70 and you're still in your teenage rebellion years.
Yeah.
And that's like how it is, and it's just so crazy to see that, like shit like that, like it's so amazing to me.
Well, look, that's just like any little city now. Like, oh, look how big it's gotten. Look at people are just coming in and taking it over. And like every neighborhood. Oh my God, there's a
gentrifiers
Starbucks.
And all this.
Oh, gentrification. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's funny because when I first moved back from Hawaii to go to back here to California, I moved to Highland Park. And when I moved to Highland Park, like I said, my family grew up in Soto Street. They grew up in East LA. Yeah. They grew up on Boyle Heights. And I told my uncles, I said, oh, Theo, I moved to Highland Park. And he said, oh, you're a hipster now, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. That's what people...
And it's funny because, like, all my neighbors, they've been there for years and shit. So what I did when I first moved in there is I called my grandma and had my grandma come visit me. And so my grandma, because I lived on the second floor, she couldn't come upstairs, so she was on the first floor just hanging out. And like all the old grandmas and all the old ladies came, órale, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? The mi mijo se viven allá. And she's like talking to all them. And so all the old abuelas out there at my apartment, they're like every time it's like, oh, mijo, ¿cómo está tu nana? And they're talking about me, they're talking to me in Spanish, and they're talking about my grandma. I'm like, oh, she's great, this and that. And I just talk to them about, and they give me like free food here and there. Because the thing is, like, I'm light skinned. The girl I was dating at the time, she's white. So
they're like,
they were giving us some looks.
Who's this white bitch?
Yeah, they're giving us some looks. So that I had my grandma come in, and like after that, they didn't take.
Yeah, they're like, oh, mijo.
He's either like mijo. Yeah, they start talking to me. They start getting like beforehand. They're just looking at.
Yeah.
And then after they saw my grandma, they're like, okay, mijo, ¿cómo estás? That's just how you got to do it.
Yeah, I have Spanish in me.
To be fair, you have Indian. Of course, you have Spanish.
Indian, yes, but I have all that. I have Nigerian in me too. And I used to be able to speak Spanish, but then I forgot because I got a little high.
I got high because I got high.
Because I got high.
She was trying to clean her room.
Yes. I used to speak it, and I just forgot.
Honestly, I forgot a lot of Spanish when I moved to Hawaii 4 years because there's no one to speak to it with.
Right.
It's just like if you don't speak it, you just don't learn. Like I know a little sign, but I have to like force myself to like use sign. So I like people's like, why do you talk with your hands so much? It's like I'm not talking. I'm just doing a little bit of sign, like practicing. Because I like sign because sign is so fun. And like
you know sign language.
Yeah, I know a little sign.
Yeah.
Because I used to date a girl who was one of her minors was in sign language.
Right.
And so we just talked in sign. Like it was fun. I liked it.
Yeah.
But it's like my sister before I went to Hawaii, she taught my nieces sign language because it helps cut down on tantrums.
Right.
So like more, I'm done, stuff like that. Thank you.
Isn't this clapping?
No, this is I'm done.
Applaud.
Or I'm done.
Or this is applause, I think.
Applause. Yeah, this is I'm done. Applause.
Yeah.
But like, it's easier for babies to do this than this.
Like I'm fucking supposed to know. Like I don't have any babies around me. No.
Not human babies.
You know, it's funny. One of my best friends. I missed her wedding. She's the one that I missed the wedding. Oh shit. So she's pregnant and she was afraid to call me. She's like, I know you hate children. I'm like, I don't hate them. I just don't want them around me. Like, I just
want to give it back.
I mean, so she was scared to tell me, and I'm like, I knew you were trying to get pregnant. I have no problem with people getting pregnant. Mm-hmm. I don't want to hold it, you know. I haven't held my nephews, like till they're about 2. Like I don't want to hold that little gross thing. It's disgusting to me, and especially after seeing my last donkey full on display come out, and he got stuck.
Yeah.
God damn it! I give it for women because.
My oldest sister, she was 12 years old when she saw me being born.
Gross.
She was in the delivery room. She always tells me every time she as a kid she was saying, Blaize, I saw you be born. And my eyes, they were like saucer. She opens her eyes really wide. Saucer. She gets all over my face.
So gross.
She tells me all the time, like, I was the one who cut your umbilical cord.
What?
She saw me being crowned and everything.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that would like traumatize me. I didn't know what sex was when I was 12, by the way. It's only because I was raised a weird way. So why did they name you Blaize?
My mom found my name in the baby book, supposedly. I haven't seen the baby book, but the other reason why is because my second name's Anthony. She originally wanted to name me Anthony, but my cousin, he's like 3-4 months older than me. My sister, my mom's sister-in-law, my dad's sister, named her kid Anthony. So she didn't want to have the same name as someone else.
We have lots of generations that have the same names. There's only like.
But that's different though.
Right.
It's not like cousins.
Yeah, like cousins.
Nah, not in my family.
Like we have like my sister's husband's name is Anthony, and they named their son Anthony.
That's different though.
But we call him AJ. Yeah. But I don't call him AJ. I call him Fabio. This is why. It was her first baby, and her husband. They're very Italian. Like his parents came over. Still don't. Oh, his dad just died, but still don't speaking. Like it's very Italian, and so she came in like, yeah, we're pregnant. We're having. We don't know what we're having yet. And she told everybody at my work. She's like, yeah, we're. I think if it's gonna, be a boy, it's gonna be Fabio Giuseppe, because she was trying to come up with the craziest name just to get a reaction out of people. She wasn't gonna really name him that because that's a great. But his
great name Fabio would have been a great name. Every girl would have fallen.
That's why I call him Fabio. I don't call him AJ. I call him Fabio. So it's kind of like a little thing between us.
I have like that with one of my cousins. His name's Sergio, but I call him Tony.
But not Fabio. Fabio. So that's how. Yeah.
I mean, like with a name like Blaize, I never had a nickname growing up.
Yeah, you didn't need one.
Exactly. Everyone's like, "What's your Mexican name, Blaize?"
Blaize.
Blaize.
Blaize is the same in every language.
It's Blaize. What's your name? It's Blaize.
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 Oh my god. So that's why people think you smoke.
I do.
Well, yeah, but I mean.
Well, I didn't start smoking. First time I smoked was the summer going into my 7th grade year. So I was about 12, 13 years old.
Oh, okay.
So
That's the first time I said my first bad word. I told my sister I was going to kick her butt and got in trouble.
My first bad word was like, fuck you, I think.
But. I said but.
Not
Which
even
is
ass.
also a conjunction. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not. It's technically it's a proper term. It's a medical term.
It's a medical term.
Technically.
No, well, yeah.
And technically, butt is a medical term because if you don't want to say anus or you don't
Yeah.
want to say gluteus, butt is a.
I got in trouble for that. So when you were smoking a joint, I said butt.
I had a girlfriend at the time too, so.
My boyfriends too.
But
my parents didn't know. Like, I mean, I was really shy though.
It was more like, pet kiss girlfriend,
Yeah.
Miss.
Yeah.
Oh, hugging. And shit.
Yeah, it's like, that was going all the way back then. Like, again, different I'm 2 generations ahead of you. Like, that's...
Generation and a half.
Okay, well, I'll settle for that. Yeah, so it was very different. It was very different.
Well, the thing is, like for me, my father is 10 years younger than my mom, so I'm used to older women in my life.
But that's not, like, a huge age gap. I think it's weird when, like, people my age...
Male,
women,
female?
both, are with somebody who's like 20 or 25.
See, the thing is, when I was 25, like, I was going after those type of women.
See, I dated a 35-year-old. Okay, I didn't date. I just fucked a 35-year-old several times as a benefit, a friends with benefits thing. But the age difference, it was too much.
Is it just more like a mental connection? Is it just like talking? Like you just don't say the same thing? Like, what is it?
For me, young, I think it's gross because when you look at baby pictures of the person that you're with, at that same year, you were already on your like second career. That's a little weird. Like, oh, look at this naked picture. No, because back then you could take naked baby pictures.
Yeah.
Like it was normal.
Before, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
It wasn't like oh, look at all the kids in the bathtub. Like that was.
That I have some pictures like that. Like but the thing is like luckily with us because the pictures were taken, we were in the bathtub, but it's taken.
Yeah, right.
The hat, or like
right.
The chest, the
yes.
Where genitals weren't showing.
Right, or you had bubbles or something like that.
Yeah. And it wasn't weird. It was just kind of like this is how pictures.
Yeah, and then those are the pictures.
Because me and my brother were flexing like this.
Oh,
we were like
Jesus Christ.
Because me and my brother, when we were kids, like 5 younger, we would take showers together. It wasn't weird.
Yeah, no.
Same thing with like boys. The thing I always thought funny was the boys would shower naked, but the girls would have their panties on still. That's how it was in my family.
Well, I didn't shower with my brothers and sisters. We would take like a couple, my little sister and I would take
we're all like
together.
5 and under,
right?
Because we have fucking 40 family members.
Right.
So like when we sleep over at each other's house, like the kids.
That makes sense.
And we're like all under 5. You know
right.
What I mean? So
you don't know what anything.
No,
is.
we're just taking showers.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like we're fucking 14.
Right.
We're all like fucking 10, 4, 6 years old. Like.
Well, yeah, no, you don't know what's going on.
You don't know. You're just we're just taking showers as family.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like it's not like people are like, oh, whoa.
You can't do that.
It's like, shut the fuck up.
I don't want to do that. Yeah. But that's how I feel like it would be like, I just feel that it's too big of a...
For you, personally. For me, like,
I guess it would depend on the person, but like, as a woman, being older.
I get that. Like, for me, like, I've always preferred women who are older than me because they're more experienced and more... They have conversations, like you can have a talk with them. Whereas, like, I feel like a lot of younger folks, like male or female, like you try and have a conversation with them. Right. They just don't have enough life experience or enough knowledge to just talk.
Yeah, but would you have a long-term relationship with somebody who is 60 at your age?
See, the thing is, the problem with that is because I'm baby crazy.
Right. Different stage of life. There's different stages of life that people don't understand.
Like, I've talked to women who are like, I'm 30, and I've talked to women who are like 34, 36.
That's okay.
That range. You know what I mean? Which is fine. And I talked to some of them, like, a lot of them, like, I don't want kids.
Right.
And especially, like, they said, like, a lot of them, once they get to, like, 30 and they say they don't want kids, that's it. They don't want kids.
No.
I'm one of those women, I'm one of those men that's like, if you don't want kids, you don't want kids. That's your decision. I'm not going to force you. I'm not going to try and force a relationship with this woman.
Right.
But, like, fucking her, that's a different situation.
Right.
Like, we can have some fun.
Right.
But, like, we both come to an agreement, like, you don't want kids, I want to have kids, but you don't want to have kids.
Right.
That's an understanding that we can come to agreement with. But, don't mean we can't have some fun in between.
Right.
Because, like, for me, like, I enjoy, like, the company of women. I enjoy the company of just, like, having a conversation with somebody and just, like, having a different point of view.
Right.
Because I can have a conversation with a man, even if he's older, he still has a certain view of a man that I have. Whereas women, they have a view of the world different than me because they're treated different than me, especially women who are older than me because they don't. A lot more women my age, they've grown up in more
with rights,
equality, rights, equality. With rights. Yeah.
Although they're getting taken away.
Yeah.
Animals have more rights than women right now.
Yeah.
It's so fucking true.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you do something to that dog? Oh, but that woman, fuck it.
Fuck that bitch.
Fuck it.
No, I get that. Like, I want someone who's the best way I want to say is combative. I mean,
right.
Like I say something and she'll say you're stupid.
Right.
Because
you're stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're stupid. Yeah, I'm kidding.
Well, mainly you, but yeah. But like, she's like, nah, that's stupid. Or like I'll say something and then she'll fight me because I don't want someone who just like agrees with everything I say because that just gets.
You want a conversation and to have your own opinion.
Yes.
And her to have your own opinion.
And even if we don't agree, that's fine.
Yep. Get it.
Yeah.
Even though we don't agree. Yep, I get. No, I'm kidding. I know. I like people who have opinions because just because you have a different opinion doesn't mean that you can't be friends or love each other or like each other or whatever. And you're not allowed to have opinions nowadays.
No, that's the thing I hate about cancel culture is just like, it's like you said, the further you get away from LA, the easier it is to say things, talk about things like, I don't want to cancel, but like, like the drag time story hour. Like a lot of people don't like that.
What is that?
You haven't heard that?
No.
So drag queen story hour is these drag queens are going to.
It'd just be my life at home.
Yeah. These drag queens will go into elementary schools, and these drag queens will read to the children.
Okay.
But they'll read to them like drag stories, trans stories, which I think is cool, which is interesting. But like a lot of folks are pushing back against that, and they're like, we don't need to have these drag folks in the elementary school. Like we don't need to. It's like what their argument is. We don't need to confuse the children. It's like,
How old are these children?
They're in elementary school.
Okay.
Like from 1st to 5th grade. So that's like about oldest 10.
There's so many like drag. I mean, I don't think sex should be taught at 5.
Yeah.
Because like just knowing from me growing up, I didn't know what sex was for a long time.
Or care for it.
But having somebody come in and teach it just so they know what somebody looks like, there's nothing wrong with that if they're just reading a story.
Yeah.
Who the fuck cares? It's like if they were a different race or, whatever. Yeah. It doesn't matter who's telling the story.
It'd be like in the 1940s.
They weren't going like, come to the dark side, or whatever, and let me put on some blush. They're not doing that to children, it doesn't sound. They're just reading them a story.
Yeah.
And people are outraged by that?
Outraged about that.
Oh, Jesus. What state was this in? Here?
Texas.
Oh, well, there you go.
California. It's happening all over the place now. Like, it's been a lot more popular recently. Like, I've had to do, when I was in high school, we had to reach children, like Big Brothers, Big Sisters thing. I had to do that where we'd go to an elementary school, we'd read, and it's fun. It's interesting. They ask questions about who you are and stuff like that. And, like, a lot of folks, they just don't feel comfortable just talking to the children. Like, I never had the sex talk.
Oh, either did I.
Never.
No, I had to learn about, circumcision.
The closest I ever had is the sex talk to my parents is, it was my freshman year of college. I brought this girl over to my house. We didn't do anything then at the house because I took her to the house because we were going out. And I was like, hey, we're going to go out, but I need to go home and take a shower first. So she was downstairs on TV just chilling, and I was upstairs in my room taking a shower, and my mom comes home while I'm in the shower, and my mom was like, she pulls me up, she comes upstairs, and she's like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck's going on? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, Mom, I'm just taking a shower, there's nothing going on right now. She's like, I don't give a fuck. Like that. The closest I got to them is after that night, I went home, my parents were in the room, I opened the door, and I said, do y'all think I'm a virgin? My dad laughs his ass off. My mom says, she's reading the newspaper, she goes, no. I'm just like, what the fuck?
I still haven't had the sex talk from my parents.
Oh, they did?
No, they're still alive.
Okay, fair enough. At this point, you think they would?
Oh, my mom's a whore. Oh, she's a total whore. Like, she was a whore, like, growing up. Like, we didn't really know till after. Like, she was fucking all the neighbors. So, is my dad my dad? I don't know. Maybe.
DNA test.
I know, right? He won't do one.
I'm 99.9% my dad, and my brother's 94.9% my dad. And when my mom, well, they did the test for me, when they said I was 99% my dad said, that's not my son. And my mom's like, why are you saying that? It's like, because he's not 100%. Mom's like, he's not a fucking clone, you dumb fuck.
Oh my
like,
God.
I look like my dad.
That's
I just don't act like him.
hilarious.
And like my dad. You know.
Well, I mean, just because you don't get the same personality, that's not how genetics work.
No. I'm more like my mom. Like my mom, last Christmas we went to see the House of Gucci, which is funny because the whole time she's like, she's so right. She's so right. I'm like, mother, she kills her husband at the end.
Oh, see, I never saw it. I don't know.
Spoiler alert. For a true story that happened in the fucking 80s.
Oh my God. I know, which I lived through. I mean, I remember when he got killed and stuff.
Yeah,
I just don't
it was
know.
his wife who killed him. And like,
Smart woman.
Yeah, I'm like, she's like, she's so smart, she's so brilliant. I'm like, mother.
That's right.
She killed her husband. It's like, yeah, I know. I'm like, should I be worried about my fucking father? But like after that, we went to Benihana's, me and her, and we were sitting at this table, and across the table from us was this one lady sitting by herself, and she actually graduated a year after my mother. From high school.
Oh, they knew each other.
They didn't know each other. There was kind of one of those things. They went to high school.
Right.
She was a year younger than her.
Uh-huh.
Didn't really hang out on the same crew.
Right.
And like, because you don't, when you're in high school, you don't really hang out with people who are younger than you that much.
No, unless it's like a neighbor or so. Yeah.
Or it's a cute girl or a hot boy. And it's like, all right, I'm gonna go.
Or if you're on a team or something.
Yeah,
like
but
that,
most of the times you don't really hang out with those folks. So like they never hang out, and so like we were talking, and it's like, oh yeah, they both went to Wilson High School in LA, and it was the 70s when they graduated, something like that. And so she ended up graduating the year after my mom graduated, and so it's like interesting, like stuff like that happens. And we were in Ontario,
and so it was a random place, not even near.
Not even real, like LA.
That's funny.
We're like in Ontario or something like that.
Oh my God, I dated this guy right after high school. And I met a friend through comedy, a friend Sebastian, and we were driving up to Vegas and we were talking. And his mom went to the rival school in Simi Valley. Well, there was only 2 high schools at the time. And I guess her high school sweetheart was the guy that I ended up dating after her.
Ooh.
And that guy contacted me.
Ooh.
Like, well, not recent, it was before COVID. And he's like, hey, and so I was telling my friend about this, and he's like, his name wouldn't happen to be, I'm not going to say it. And I said, yes. And then I got this Facebook message, hey, do you know this guy, my boyfriend? And I said, oh, yeah, he's my boyfriend. Joking that I was dating his ex-girlfriend's son. I'm like, yeah, he's my boyfriend. I'm like, just kidding. We're up here for a comedy thing.
That would have been fun.
It's so freaking a small world.
It is. It's smaller than you really think it is. Like, so many people think, like, especially here now, it's so grand, but, like, it's so small. It's so small.
It's
like,
small.
Because, like, the people that you, especially the circles you run with, the people that you meet, like, it's big, it's grand, everything's, like, spread out, but just because it's spread out doesn't mean it's not, like, close, like...
Well, it's very spread out, but most people only have a very small...
Group. Yeah. I mean, but that's how it is in LA. Like, you can't have a
That's anywhere.
Yeah. New York, Oklahoma... It's like, you know a lot of people, but like the people you hang out with...
Right, or it's different.
It's about like 10 people, max.
Right.
Like, I would say like...
And you use them all up your first year of comedy.
Honestly, that's the main reason I don't do bringer shows. I don't do bringer shows at all.
It's so hard. Like, in the beginning, yeah, people will come. Like, although my family does not support me, by the way. They hate it.
Your husband?
He went to a few shows in the beginning. He hasn't seen me in
a while.
Since my first probably year.
Okay.
But I do run jokes by him.
Yeah.
And like, you know how family is like, I'm like, is this funny?
I used to date a comic before I was a comic.
Oh, God damn it. Oh, no.
What?
Don't date comics.
That's
like
I have a rule.
Best advice I can give you.
I have a rule that I have to do. Is like, I don't date comments. I don't talk to comments. I don't do anything with like, I'm friends with comments, but I'm not going to go out of my way to pursue a female comic. Because it's just not... I don't want to deal with... I've already done it once. I don't need to do it again.
Yeah, you don't need to be in somebody's act.
No.
I'm already going to put this in our act. No, my suggestion is, and this has nothing to do financially.
Date a doctor.
Don't fuck down. That's just the lesson.
I mean, to be fair, as a comic, you're always fucking up. I mean...
No, but I mean, like, just for not money. Like, just don't go for the total dickwad. Like... You don't want to go for a total bitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, because you're a nice guy.
Thank you. I appreciate
You
that.
are very nice. And then somebody who gives massages, you better be giving massages. That's number one. Hopefully you'll get with someone that doesn't like them. Oh, that would be a dream.
It would be great. But the thing is, like, that's hard for me because, like I said, I'm very, very touchy. Like, I'm the type of person, like, when my woman walks in the door, I'm an octopus.
Wait. Do you want, yes, you want to touch her, but do you want to give her, like, a full body massage like you do at work? No, you don't want to be working. You want to be fucking.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm more of, like, if anything, I'll just do a little, like, pressure shows.
Yeah, well, that's what every man does. Here. Oops, I slipped it in. Or, like, or something. What the hell? That's not relaxing for a woman. It's not. Yeah. It's not. Not when somebody... No, when you're supposed to be getting a massage.
When you're not the one doing all the work, I mean...
Yeah, no, if you're getting a massage, you want to be relaxed, not worrying if something's going to try and go in your ass.
That's fair. That's fair.
Well, I mean, you don't have to worry about it. How many massages do you get? Do you get a lot?
I get about once a month. I get a massage.
That's what I loved when I went to massage school.
Yeah.
You would get a once a week.
Oh,
yeah, this is awesome.
Every other day, pretty much getting a massage.
And I learned how to wrap a toga. Toga. I'm like, yeah.
That's two.
Those are the two things.
I learned how to do that in fraternity.
Well, yeah. I kind of knew how to do that before, huh? I was such a whore.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm a whore, too.
I mean, I've worn it out now, but it doesn't work anymore. It's an expert. It got its 10,000 hours in. Or 10,000 men.
10,000 dicks.
Yeah. I mean, and that's not far off. I'm the Wilt Chamberlain. No, I'm kidding.
I'm the Wilt Chamberlain of pussy.
Which is coincidence. Wilt Chamberlain and I both play basketball.
Ah. And you basket his balls. I'm just kidding.
Can you imagine 10? I can't even imagine. I mean, 1,000 maybe. But, like, I can imagine 10,000.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Like, honestly, like...
I would have to go fuck during halftime.
I only have about, like... My number is probably, like, 15 to 20. I don't know if I counted it. Yeah. I'm not... I mean...
We're not going to say numbers.
We're not going to say numbers.
You're going to have to multiply that by a lot.
Yes. I mean, like... Like, growing up, I'm just always, like, especially growing up in this time, like, I always feel like, I always ask women, when, like, before I kiss them, I was like, may I kiss you?
Right.
That's something I've done since high school, because I'm always worried, like, a girl's going to reject. I'd rather her say, no, I don't want you to kiss me, than me go and try and kiss her without her permission.
God, your generation, ours would be like, we wouldn't give you real names, real phone numbers, and at the last call, you want to go fuck in the bathroom? Yeah.
See, like, I wish I had that kind of... Like, I know people who have that kind of...
Nightclubs aren't the same anymore.
Nightclubs aren't the same. Like, I need to go to your nightclubs. Like, wherever you go, that's where I need to be.
I don't go to nightclubs anymore, honey. I lost all my rhythm. but in my 20s...
In your 20s,
Oh, my God, and I had a fake ID.
Uh-oh.
Oh, so this is how we got fake IDs originally. You go to the library. If people still go there, not
as much.
And you look up dead babies. And then you get the birth certificate sent to you, and then you go to get a driver's license.
Oh,
well,
shit.
It wasn't a driver's license. It was a California ID.
State ID.
State ID. And you would use that. It would have your picture on it. I mean, I'm pretty sure that at this point, somebody...
You can still do it.
Oh, yeah, no, somebody's probably voting, like, with that ID. Like...
Oh my God.
And then when I got that taken away, because I dated a bouncer for a little bit, and then we broke up, and he knew I wasn't 21, so...
Oh, what a bitch.
And what then, a bitch. My sister, who's 5 years older, who we look alike, she just has dark hair, she got a divorce, so changed her name back to her maiden name.
Oh.
And she gave me her old ID, had the same address, had the same fucking picture, and we'd go clubbing and have the same goddamn ID and walk in together and like do. She's also the so funny. So I was so ahead of my time. We went to this club called Rubens. We used to go all the time in Simi Valley. It was, till dive bar. Okay. And this guy would not leave us alone. He was like, just would not like us alone, wouldn't leave her alone. And I said, she used to be a dude. I told this guy that. No joke. Like a year later, because you'd see the same people in there.
Yeah.
And then my sister's name's Jerry. I'm like, yeah, her name is Jerry. She didn't even have to change her name. I mean, I went totally deep into it. A girl came up to her I didn't tell her that I said that. I just wanted him to leave us alone.
Yeah, as you do.
Yeah, and so this girl came up to her like, oh my God, and asked her. Like, it was like a year later, she's like, what? And it was so hilarious. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but it was fucking hilarious.
I almost got in a fight with in Hawaii in college with a tranny hooker pimp.
Wow, doing all this, managing everything.
Yeah, I mean, she's a tranny hooker pimp. Like, so it was, she was a tranny, and we asked her to take our picture for us at the club, right?
Uh-huh.
We weren't asking for anything. We were just asking her to take our picture of us at the group. We knew she was a hooker. And she's like, oh, yeah, sure. Her pimp comes up, and he's like, hey, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I'm half faded at this point, right? I'm like, I'm pretty toasty. So this dude, like, he's talking to my friend. I didn't know until after we got back home that he was hopped up on coke. So, yeah, so I was like, I wasn't prepared for that kind of energy. You know what I mean? Because when you know someone's on coke versus when you don't know they're on coke, it's two different energies. So I'm like sitting, me and my friend are right there, like waiting for the pictures, and he's sitting down, and like the pimp comes and puts his finger in my friend's face. My friend is sitting right next to me, stands up. I stand up, and we start walking, right? And we start walking up to the pimp. And we're about to like start fighting this pimp.
Oh my God.
Before we can start fighting with this pimp, he starts reaching for his pocket, right? And as soon as he reaches for his pocket, his girls come up and pull him away. And we're like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. This is about to get fucking bloody. This is in the middle of the club, in the middle of Waikiki. We're about to fucking have a bloodbath.
I'd make a good pimp.
I can see that.
Yeah, no, I've sold some people, but
you can sell me.
No, my friends and I in Vegas again. Teri Vegas is a different person.
You need to take me to Vegas.
I will get you like.
You can sell me. Sell me.
I was at a piano. I will.
Please.
Like totally. But my friend and I, we were at a piano bar.
Ooh.
And there was 18 Australian miners there, like not little kid, like
18-year-old, 19.
No, the kind that go in the hole.
Oh.
Like gold miners, and they owned mines and shit like that.
Okay.
So the piano bar was our friends playing, and they closed at a certain time.
Yeah.
And then the Australians got limos, and we went bar hopping in Vegas. We were fucking hammered, and we ended up back at our hotel in the hooker bar. That's what I call it. It's the round, the circle bars in the middle. Those are hooker bars.
Yeah.
And they're like, we want to get some hookers, because at some of the bars they had run into hookers. I'm like, you're friends with a hooker right now, right? Does he know that? Because they had no fucking idea.
Of course. I love hookers.
And so they wanted a hooker. I'm like, okay, let me call my host, because I have a host at some of the hotels. I said, how many and what color do you want? And got them 4 hookers. I should have gotten a cut from that.
You should have gotten a cut.
Because everybody gets a cut. Like, the host gets a cut, bartenders get a cut. Like, whoever sets it up.
Everyone but you.
Yeah. So, I got 4 hookers for 16 Australians.
Okay, I could be one of you. If you find 16 Australian women, call me.
I sold Jessica for $100.
What?
I'm kidding. It's kind of true, but...
Let me know.
Not really.
Let me know.
She was drunk. No,
it's
another joke, but I did get $100 for her.
There you go.
The moral of the story
is...
Don't go to Vegas with Teri unless you want to be sold.
I mean, Teri, take me to Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Take me to... We'll pay, well, you know what? If we take me to Vegas, I'll have the room covered for the first night.
I get comped rooms. I don't check in the peasant line. This walks into VIP.
Glossing. Flossing. Oh my God.
3 a.m. is my witching hour. That's when all the hookers are gone, and I look my best because everybody's drunk.
Oh, 3 a.m. hookers.
That's when I look great.
I mean, to be fair, you look good at 3 p.m. too, girl.
I don't know.
All right, but yeah, we've been here for about 2 hours now.
Oh shit!
So yeah, it's been a great conversation.
Were we even talking about comedy? Like, no.
Partly, it's part, but that's the beauty of the Blaize interview. We just go
bullshit.
through.
They're like, this bitch is crazy.
Of course, this is all. It's all about my crazy comedy friends. But Teri, tell the audience where they can find you, your Instagram, Twitter, all your handles and shit.
I don't know how to use social media.
What's that? Teri Comedy.
It's Teri S Comedy. It's TERIS Comedy at
Instagram.
On Instagram, I was gonna give them my email. Oh, or you can follow my donkeys, which is a real thing, on their Instagram, AssPlay00.
I love that shit. All right,
thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Blaize.
Thank you, Teri. All right, take care of y'all. Shit.
Bye, guys.